Hello and welcome to Call to Arms, and thank you for answering the call. Welcome to another episode of Battlecry, and tonight's episode is all about the brand new Slaves to Darkness Battletome, which we are very excited to have a chat about. Joined as always by Mr. Nathan Watson. How are we? Perfect. I think I've just remembered to click your desktop audio on there, so we're doing well, mate. So it's Slaves to Darkness time. Before we kind of get into that, obviously make sure everyone to like and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel, and also click like on the old video there. We're hoping to get a couple of folks in live chat. I know it's kind of later on a Monday night. I think a lot of people might be a wee bit shell shocked after the weekend. So hopefully we'll get a few folk on chat. I know there's a lot of Slaves lovers in the AOS community. That's Slaves to Darkness lovers. That's the so yeah. But anyway, so before we get into it, how are we, Nathan? What's been happening, bro?
Not much. Just a little bit of hobby, a little bit of tournament gaming, lots of study for me the last couple of weeks, but that's it. I'm finished for Christmas, so
is that you? Is that you?
Smile now.
I was gonna say, is that you totally done?
Yeah, that's
my
me
God.
until January now. Like I need to put some thought towards a dissertation topic, but other than
that,
loads of time.
Sounds good, mate. Yeah, no, because a lot of the time when I've been asking like what you up to, kind of a thing, it's just usually like, I've just been shut in this. I've just been shut in the shed outside for 9 hours straight.
Sometimes voluntary, sometimes involuntary.
Most of the time involuntary, I'd like to say. No, so no, very very happy for you, mate. Yeah, it's been a while since I was in further education, and I do not envy you. So happy days. So you're at the old Christmas break time. So yeah, and talk about tournaments. Talk to me about. So we were both at a lovely little one day on Saturday in Stirling, the Howling. Ow!
Yeah, the Howling.
And yes, as you can see, he's just whapped out his big chopper live on stream there. He has retained the alpha dog status, which is so that's 2 years in the trot then, taking out the Howling.
I couldn't mind. It's been a while since we had a Howling, was it not?
It's been a while.
Did we have one last year? I don't know if it was 2 years ago.
So what would have been 2021? I think we could have had it.
Yeah. But yeah, Andy Curry won the first one, and I think I came third. I think Lee got second, I got third at the first one, and then the next one, Andy didn't go, which was the only reason I won. And then I won it again because Andy didn't go. So I'm just looking after it for Andy.
Thank God. He took a bit of a break from the hobby to let you get in there.
Some tournaments for a while. Yeah.
Exactly. No, very good. It was a cracking wee day out. I really enjoyed it. Really good to catch up with a lot of folk, catch up with yourself. Not seen you in a tournament since September. Yeah. So that was good. And then lots of other faces as well. And quite a big one. It was over 40, right?
Always is like the biggest one there that we've had. Like North Invasion used to be a one dayer, and then it moved to being a 2 dayer, and ever since then all the one dayers were mostly just small affairs. But Mike has like time after time put on a really good consistent tournament over the years as well. You get a lot of people that come to it that don't come to some of the other ones as well. So
that's true. And I know there are a lot more people that can make a one day. They can take one day at the weekend. They can maybe take 2. It's good.
I had people from down the road coming up for just the one day. Like that's how
guys
much of a staple it is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Stu came from Orkney.
Yeah, but that's Stu. He'll come from it. He'd go to Australia for a one day. But anyway, it was a really good day. Good, just great to get some games in and catch up with guys as well. So hopefully next year we'll be running it again, and I would highly recommend getting on that if folks can. As for myself, not really much. I haven't really done much hobby, mate. I've just been going to tournaments after tournaments. So that's my third straight weekend of going to tournament.
Countries.
And 3
weekends, 3 countries, 3 tournaments.
3 countries. We've had Belfast, Bristol, and Stirling. So I've been all over the map. So it's been really fun. And so now we've just got a kind of what feels like it's going to be quite a long break until Masters. which is kind of the latter half of January, and that'll be obviously a lot of fun as well.
Maybe one there at the Marienville models.
That's true. Yes.
Before, but,
we might want to kind of plug that as well. Yeah, there's a one day on the 14th, I believe. Is that right?
Completely sold out. It's the weekend before Masters, but the 14th.
Yeah, totally sold out. I'm on the reserves list.
He does have a reserves list. Yeah. We could maybe put the details somewhere.
Yeah, no, I'll stick the details in the video chat and video description definitely. I bet he is wanting to run them once a month. I think he's been doing it for 40k pretty regularly. He's been doing, is it Bolterville, I think it's called. And then now it's it's called Hammerville. So he's getting the one days boshed out. So yeah, really good to see that as well. So yeah, we'll definitely get some details down below. I think that's us, man, in terms of general kind of chit chat and what have you. So are we ready to get into it, into the mix?
I guess so. It's a big one.
Guess so. It is a big one. You're absolutely right. We're going to have to be very tight, time conscious on this one. But yeah, so here we go, folks. Oh, look at that cover. So we have Slaves to Darkness. So bit of a weird one, this one. So not an official actual book release. It came as part of one of their kind of big boxes that they sometimes put out. But we got two new minis. We had the new Corn Demon, not Corn Demons. We had the new Demon Prince and the new Chaos Chosen. Oh no, 3, and the Theridons as well, the Ogroid Theridons. But they have also been bashing out quite a lot of new Chaos sculpts with what's that? What's the wee tiny game called?
Warcry.
Warcry, there we go. So there's been obviously a lot of new sculpts coming from that as well, and then I've got a whole swathe of all the cultists from that as well. You can use. So really nice kind of updates to the model line, but it does also mean it is a weighty tome. It's got a lot of war scrolls in there, so we aren't going to be able to touch on every single one. We've kind of had a chat before, over the last kind of week, and we're going to be cherry picking on the ones that we think are going to be kind of more tournament kind of competitive war scrolls that you're probably going to see in most lists. So yeah, we're just going to have to be nice and quick on that one. But yeah, so what are your kind of overall thoughts of the book? What do you think of the new tome?
So from what I've heard and what I've been looking at, it seems like a kind of lateral move in comparison to the kind of power lists that are going about at the moment, like their sort of power level. So Knights of the Empty Throne, for those uninitiated, is a kind of sub-allegiance of the current Slaves to Darkness. It's in the new book as well, but it has been very consistent, like in a Battletome's performance that's been like kind of middling at best. It's been like a solid 5-0 army. I think that there's been some people playing it for about a year, but we've only really just seen it. Loads of people playing it recently, towards the tail end of this Battletome. It
does definitely feel that way. It feels like I know a lot of kind of start of the year people were mainly taking into things like Archeon, Tzeentch Archeon, and stuff like that, and kind of trying to get a couple of kind of key pieces and some of the juice out of the book. And then what I feel like was just like out of nowhere, I was just like, oh no, everyone's just running like. Excuse me. Everyone's sort of just made me sick, almost sick of my mouth to even just say. Not order edge reaction. No, everyone just started then running 12 Iron Guards with ignoring rend 5, 2 ups reroll and 1s to save. And it's just like, whoa, Jesus.
I've been playing the Legion list, which is in the same book, The Wrath of the Everchosen, so I kind of knew about it, had my eye on it, wasn't interested in doing 12 Iron Guard. JP of Listbot fame was probably one of the earliest people I know that was like talking about the list. I think he pushed it a little bit on TTS years ago, like 2020. But I think more recently, like at the start of this year and then into Worlds, I'm pretty sure that Toby on Team England was playing it, and some other people in Team England.
Yeah, Toby Meadows.
Toby Maguire. Toby Maguire. I've done that so many times. Sorry, Toby.
Yeah. So what does Spider-Man play? Yeah.
But he's been playing it, and then from that point, from Worlds, I would say, That's when it started ramping up.
Yeah.
But that's a really strong army. It's still in this book, less strong, but now there's other stuff in the book that's really, really good.
It's more strong. Yeah.
Up saves across the board for a lot of stuff. Ward saves that aren't necessarily just against magical spells now. Like, I think a lot of the things that were ignore spells are now ward saves, which is really good.
Which is just flat better, right?
Yeah, like, they're really, really cool book, and I think that they are probably one of the top 2 or 3 strong armies going into the new year.
Ooshed.
And that's discounting possible changes we're going to see to things like Beast of Chaos, which is like the top one that's getting a new book at the start of next year.
We obviously have to take into account the fact that we're going to see huge changes with regards to the General's Handbook as well, which is going to change the meta, and yeah. So I'm kind of sitting on slaves just now. I've got a whole bunch of models that I kind of want to get done, and yeah, there's kind of 1 or 2 things that I've been eyeing up in this book. But then I'm also like in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, but I want to see what comes out in January and kind of what happens with the new season. And then before you actually like, right, no, this is the list, this is the one I'm going to settle on. So yeah. But anyway, so let's go into it. So Slaves to Darkness. So we get straight into the battle traits. We have marks. So marks are back. I think I didn't foresee them ever going away. I think they're a really just kind of flavourful part of that book. And yeah, I think in terms of the marks that we maybe saw a lot of last time, I think Nurgle was up there in terms of the one we saw quite a bit.
Tzeentch was the most popular one.
And then Tzeentch, yeah, because of the reroll ones to save and the spell ignore as well.
Spell ignore, yeah.
Yeah.
The reroll ones to save was the big one. I think that you're right in what you're saying. Nurgle was out of the gates the one that you saw most of the kind of all of the War Scrolls slaves lists were taken. But yeah, Tzeentch was by far the most OP one, and it's been toned down a good bit now.
Absolutely. So yeah, so we'll just kind of rattle through these. So you have to pick a mark for every unit. It can either be Undivided, Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh. And when you give that unit a mark, it then gets an associated kind of a bonus or ability, and you also get a command ability now as well, which I think you also got in the last book as well. There was command abilities as well. So it's all good. So let's just go through them. So we've got Mark of Chaos Undivided. So all mortal and Ogroid Slaves to Darkness Undivided units that are not unique gain the Eye of the Gods keyword. So that's quite cool because they then get to roll in the Eye of the Gods table and when they do actual in-game things. And a lot of the kind of pluses they get are quite strong, quite powerful. Yeah. In addition, it's not just like, I always found in the last book it's just random crap, right? Now you can actually take into stuff and stuff, which is quite nice. And then we've got when a Slave to Darkness Undivided hero rolls, he can re-roll any 1 dice, which is good. It kind of makes things more reliable. And then in addition, Undivided Slaves to Darkness heroes can issue the following command. So the command is slay worthy foes. Start of the combat phase, a friendly Undivided Slave to Darkness gets +1 to wound against heroes or monsters. So I think it's a good all-round kind of command ability, and kind of decent in terms of you may want some of your units to get marks. So I'm thinking things like Chosen getting marks is pretty scary. Potentially the Theridons getting marks could be pretty scary as well. There's marks in there we'll go through obviously the not marks, sorry, the Eye of the Gods. Eye
of the Gods, yeah.
Well, we'll go through the Eye of the Gods table kind of after this, but there's things like increased rend, +1 attack and stuff like that, which can make things a lot more kind of damage outputty. But I think just that's a general, or just a kind of all-rounder mark, which is pretty decent.
Yeah.
And I think that for your heroes, getting them to get little bonuses that they can re-roll and stuff like that, I think is pretty cool. We then go into Mark of Khorne, which I think is probably vying for the top 2 spot, I think, in terms of the marks. So we get...
Is that your opinion based on allies or without allies?
I'm based on just with this book, Nathan. We're not talking about Dirty Blades of Khorne allies coming in.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm intrigued to see why you think it's the top one without it. But yeah.
But yes, but still, point taken. Yes, we might have a very small chat about that. But yeah, so +1 to attacks characteristic of melee weapons used by Khorne Slave to Darkness units if they made a charge move. In addition, they also get the command, which is you get D3 more. You get impact hits like when you charge in, right? Now, the reason why I think this is pretty strong is because we have units such as Chosen, and just getting a flat +1 attack onto this can be pretty nuts. Now, yes, you then have got some jank because you can bring in three different ways you can get +1 attacks by bringing in Blades of Khorne coalition units.
You can get +1 from the Blood Secretor.
Yep.
And you can get
Wrathmongers.
So yeah, you can ally Wrathmongers, which is Khorne marked as well, not Blades of Khorne. It's really hard to actually get that popping off, though it's wholly within 8.
All right, okay, got you.
But yeah, no, in theory you can, but I think that the two big ones that I think you're going to see initially, at least I know we've got a new Blades book coming soon, but the Blood Stoker, which is I want to say +3 to run and charge.
I think it's +3.
Something like that. Yeah, +3 to run and charge. I don't know if there is a way in this book to get you run and charge, because it doesn't give you run and charge. But if you do, you can make them very zippy and get bonus attacks. Yeah,
absolutely no, 100%. I know that you can get a 3d6 charge, so that could be pretty nuts. 3d6 +3. Yeah. It could be good.
Decent, isn't it?
Who needs a run? You just chuck an extra dice when you're charging anyway. It's fine. And that's just from a spell. Yeah. So no, absolutely. So like Mark of Khorne, good. More for the ability, the command ability, I don't really care. But the +1 attack, I think is good. We then have Mark of Tzeentch, which I think has fallen very, very far from grace. I think it's suffering from the being too good in the last book kind of thing. So now it's a spell ignore and a 6. And any Tzeentch Slave to Darkness wizard know the following spell, and it's a teleport spell. And that is it.
Do they still have Mask of Darkness? I didn't actually check.
They do, but it's not a teleport anymore.
There you go. Gives you teleport.
Gives you a teleport, which is nice. A bit of tech. But again, you have to do it on a Tzeentch unit. I don't see people taking many Tzeentch units unless they're just. I have heard chat about maybe taking a Tzeentch demon prince and then like he can teleport himself or something along those lines, or just to give you, or even just like a sorcerer lord with this on it, or a sorcerer lord or a manticore. There's also a sub-faction that makes all of your heroes wizards, and sticking that onto them is quite nice. Or you've got Teleport and Archeon because he's Tzeentch keyword marked as well. Like, there is play here. I just don't think it's that good a mark.
Yep.
So yeah. And then I think if you're not going full offensive output, this is the best mark, Nurgle. So you've got subtract 1 from wound rolls against melee weapons. So that's everything that's Nurgle marked gets that, which is awesome. And then they also get the following command ability. It goes, so you do it at the start of the combat phase. After the unit fights for the first time, you roll a dice for each enemy unit within 3 inches on a 3 of it to suffer D3 mortal wounds. So if you get into multiple units, this could trigger multiple times, which I think is pretty decent. Probably better than the Khorne one in terms of mortal wound output. But yeah, I think just the mark that's the best mark, I think.
I think so too, and we'll see why as we go through some of the other things that you can do to tweak units.
Absolutely.
Also goes without saying, you don't need to pick the same mark for all of your units. I don't think we touched on that.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely can. So you can have like a unit of Khorne Chosen, you can have some Nurgle Warriors, you can have, whatever. Also to know as well that you cannot give any wizard the mark of Khorne because of fluff, which is cool.
Who would do that?
Who would do that? But yes, I think Nurgle. I really like Nurgle. I think it's the best mark. And then Slaanesh is a interesting one. So you just give +1 to run and charge rolls for Slaanesh Slave to Darkness units, which is nice. And then you have a command ability for run and charge.
There's the running charge.
There you go, running charge.
But
You can't get running charge. You can't get on corn though. But yeah,
hate each other too.
They do. Yeah, but yeah, running charge obviously really good ability.
Yep.
You can make things go very fast and then charge. So yeah, I think interesting. I genuinely think it's interesting. Maybe this on a unit of knights, or something else with speed. I think could be good.
Yep.
But yeah, no. So that's the marks. And I think, as we've said, we think Nurgle. I think if I was to rank these, I'd probably say Nurgle, Khorne, maybe Slaanesh Undivided, and then Tzeentch at the bottom. That would be my ranking.
What you're probably going to see is you're going to see lists tailor into a couple of them, and you're going to have units that you want to be defensive are probably going to want to be Nurgle.
Yeah.
And then units that you're wanting to be offensive might want to be Mark of Undivided or Khorne.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move on. So we're going to talk about the Eye of the Gods table. So at the end of each phase, for each enemy hero or monster destroyed by a friendly Slaves to Darkness unit with Eye of the Gods, including those destroyed by an ability or spell, you then make one roll in the Eye of the Gods table for that Slave to Darkness unit and apply the effect of the result. So if you've gone Undivided, Mark, you roll 1 dice, just for a unit, but if you're a hero with Undivided, you roll 2 dice, and then you apply the buffs there. It also says, in addition, if you gain control of an objective previously controlled by your opponent, make one roll in the Eye of the Gods table for each friendly Slaves to Darkness unit with the Eye of the Gods keyword that is contesting it. So you could get this kind of very nice combo of, you could take a bunch of units to then take an objective off your opponent. Maybe you kill a hero or monster on that point as well, and then you're just getting lots of Eye of the Gods rolls triggering, and you can get then access to quite a lot of decent buffs. And as I said there, yep, you roll 2d6 for the heroes and 1, and you add 2 to the score for all their units, which is kind of nice. So
the effects are kind of listed there.
Yeah.
There's loads of them.
Oh, there's hundreds.
This is probably my favourite bit in the book.
Yeah, just in terms of
this is a
flavor.
I think it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of flavor. Kind of speaks to what Slaves to Darkness is all about.
Yeah.
But it's legitimately good. A lot of the buffs are really cool.
Yeah, no, 100%. So we'll just touch on a few of them. I don't think we need to talk about Spawndom or Snubbed. We've got Regrowth, which is you just heal D3 wounds, which is kind of nice. You've then got Flames of Chaos. You've then get a 2-up Spell Ignore on a unit, which can be really nice, cool. Which can be really nice. You've got Unearthly Reflexes +1 to charge rolls, which is cool. We've got Unholy Resilience, so the unit has a ward of a 6+. Slaughterer Strength, which this is really nice. If you can get this off, +1 rend to melee weapons, very nice. You've got Arcane Awakening, so your unit or your well, I suppose it couldn't be a unit, could it? Because it's only 6+2. So this is heroes only. So your hero becomes a wizard, and then you can attempt to cast one spell in your hero phase and attempt to unbind one spell in your hero phase like a wizard. If it's got the Khorne, it goes to Slaughterer Strength anyway. So there's actually two potential chances to get -1 rend if you're Khorne, which is cool. 3.
Yeah, because you could roll an 11 or a 12.
Of course, then you can choose. But I like that, yeah. The other thing to note as well is I've heard some chat about this is because the unit becomes a wizard, do they then get to pick up spell lore? Because they've now became a wizard, yeah? So it's not just like, you're a wizard, but you can only cast Mystic Shield and Arcane Bolt. You can actually pick from the spell lore, which is cool. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, for viewers, when you add a wizard to your army after the start of the battle, you get to give it a spell.
Yeah. We then got a ward of 5 up for Aura of Chaos, which is nice, and then you've got Dark Apotheosis. You can choose Demonhood or any effect that's on that table. So you add a Slave to Darkness Demon Prince to your army, and you set up within 1 inch of that hero. It counts as having the same mark, and if it's your general, that Demon Prince is now your general as well. So this could be nice for like a little Sork Lord. Who's just like popping off and being like, yeah, I'm a demon now, and yeah, obviously this could be seen as a downgrade for some of the heroes that are in there, but yeah, it's kind of nice and again kind of flavorful. So what are the kind of stronger ones we think we see from that list? What would you be wanting to get?
One.
Yeah,
Demon Hood's really big because you do this on your little cheap heroes as well. So Demon Princes look pretty decent. And then Slaughterer Strength or Aura of Chaos seem to be the standout ones, like for big, powerful buffs to a unit.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, and yeah, I do enjoy this, and I'm going to be looking forward to seeing, my opponents or myself
Roll spawn them.
rolling spot good roll. But yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, so the Eye of the Gods, as we said, flavorful, fluffy, but then can also give some really strong buffs out as well. And it's not just going to be, I think, like in the last book, which is just like a pain in the hoop to actually try and do. I think this is going to have some impact, which is good. We don't just want stuff in a book that has zero impact. We then have our Damned Legions. So again, you pick a sub-faction, which we'll have a chat about as well. We also have Vows of Darkness. So you can carry out the following heroic actions with a Slave to Darkness hero with what has to have Eye of the Gods keyword instead of any other heroic action that you can carry out. So you've got Pledge to the Dark Gods, which is, I think, amazing. So your little hero, your little wizard. Different.
No, that's
drawn power. Yeah. Sorry. So
Edge is still good as well.
Yeah, drawn power is amazing. Pledge to Dark Gods is still good. You roll on the Eye of the Gods table. You roll 3 dice instead of 2 and pick any of the 2. So you obviously maybe want to pick the highest 2 for then getting the really good stuff, which is nice. And that's just a heroic action. So just take it up to the end. And I think for giving up on the 4-up chance of getting a CP, then and just straight getting this
10 point something. Do you know what I mean? So you're kind of flirting with becoming a Demon Prince, which I think is pretty good. And
then if you go undivided, you can reroll one of those dice as well. So I think that's really nice. And then Drawn Power, which is my favourite. So your wizard rolls 3d6 for their cast, right? And it just goes off on that 3d6, that unmodified 3d6 roll. But if you roll double ones on any of those dice, then you take d6 mortals. But I just think for the strength this is, that's totally worth the risk, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like they don't have the strongest wizards in the game. Mm-hmm. This puts them on that sort of power level, though.
Correct.
We're talking about an average being about a 10 or 11 on the 3 dice. So.
Yeah. And if you get this on a multicaster, then they roll the 3d6 for every cast. It's not just per cast. So you just say, this guy's taking a heroic action, he's a double caster, and I'm just going to roll 3d6 for both of the casts and go for it, which I think is really nice. There's some really good spells in this book, and the fact that you're actually going to be able to get them off in a spell dom world, I think is really clutch.
You can make any unit a wizard with the Arcane Tome as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily need to be one of the wizard scrolls that you can 100%. Use this on.
100%. We then go on to enhancements. We've got command traits. So we've got a couple of different ones. So we've got Slave to Darkness heroes only, then we've got Slave to Darkness demon princes only. So picking out maybe 1 or 2 from this, I really like the Demon Prince one, which is Diabolic Majesty. Which is undivided only. Once per battle, when you carry out a heroic action with this general, you can carry out any one of the heroic actions in its war scroll, even if it does not have the required keywords, which is nice. And then, oh no, sorry, I'm getting confused now. It's not to be denied. I think that's my favourite, which is the additional heroic actions. So you're getting 2 heroic actions in your hero phase rather than 1, which is, I think, really good because you're going to probably want to go for the 3d6 cast one all the time, and then you can do another one as well, which is just I think really strong. So that's probably my favourite out of there. Anything else catching your eye out of the command ability?
It was the not to be denied one was the one that jumped off the page to me. I think not only with the Chaos Demon Prince new model being really cool, we're going to see a lot of them for that reason, but I think that is a really legitimate reason to include the Demon Prince in your army. They're not that expensive for what they can do.
Agreed.
I think that's more powerful than some people will give it credit for to begin with.
Absolutely. And honestly, having just a quick skim through the rest of it, I'm not that enamoured. I think that stands out to me to be the best.
Of the Pantheon you might see some people take just to get the extra Eye of the Gods roll.
That's true.
If they're not taking a Demon Prince, but other than that.
No, agreed. So not to be denied, I think,
Idolater Lord maybe. I know that some people
becomes a priest. Idolaters. I mean, it's not. You don't have to be idolaters to get this, but it's just it becomes a priest, and you can replace the undivided keyword on every undivided cultist unit and actually give them. So that's kind of cool. So giving all the cultists the marks, you can get some. I'm thinking of one particular cultist unit.
Boys.
If you were to get extra attacks, So that's pretty nuts actually. No, that's quite cool, and I think we might see some cultist spam lists, or people can just take
Can't wait for them to be there. And people have like maxed out their credit cards.
Well, the good thing is you can't. Good thing is you can't buy them anyway, so it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's just proxying their terrible cultists. But yeah, so yeah, not to be denied. Idolater Lord, I think. Yeah, they sound pretty nice. So that's our command traits. Then going to artifacts again. You've got just normal ones for all your heroes,
all of these and
you've got wizards.
The oppressor.
Is that literally it?
That's it.
Okay, now this is funny because when I was reading through all this stuff, that jumped out to me as well, and I was like, clearly it's this one. I haven't seen or heard a lot of love for this because everyone seems to be like, oh, it's the range, it's only 6 inches, it's the range, right? But like I'm thinking, right, so there's that one in Nurgle, right? There's like 7-inch range. Yep. Is that not still amazing?
That's all command abilities, to be honest.
Right. Okay. So that because this one is only inspiring presence and rally, but still, like, I think it's ideal.
You can slap on a demon prince.
Yeah. And he's going to be getting in amongst it, yeah. And you've got other tanky things. You've got Lord on Karkadrak, you've got Lord on Marticore, you've got lots of stuff as well.
In this game, you cannot overstate the ability to turn off Inspiring Presence and Rally without having to roll dice.
100%.
Like that's really good.
Yep, 100%. And there's one such war scroll that does this at double that range as well, which we'll be having a chat about. Unmade. I was talking about Archeon, but okay.
Unmade's different, but yeah.
But no, I think that's right. Yeah, Helm of... zero command abilities is cool. Helm of the Oppressor, and I don't really see much else in there at all, so I think that one for me looks pretty decent. Or Arcane Tome, old faithful Arcane Tome. We've got the particular ones that are onto the Demon Princes only. Couple, so there's once per battle one, meh. And then there's what's the stuff?
Strike first used to just be on the Demon Prince War Scroll.
And you give strike first. I don't really see it. I don't think you're going to maybe need this at all. So it's interesting. So in terms of all the command traits and all the artifacts, it looks like, 2 command traits and 1 artifact from the book that looks like they could be competitive?
Well, it depends what we see going forward, but at the moment, you don't really have much scope for more than 1 artifact on the cutting edge. For most armies, remains to be seen whether this army is a more than 1-drop army, but
that's
I kind of think most armies are a 1-drop army, aren't they? So you're not really seeing multiple artifacts, and the most powerful ones are the ones we've kind of pointed out. Yeah,
and very easy for this army to be 1-drop just because they have their units are quite expensive, so you can't really fit that many in anyway. So you might as well go 1-drop. Okay, so moving on to the spell lore. We've had a wee chat about this. Oh, what's happened to Nathan? Nathan's disappeared.
What? I'm still here.
Well, your camera is going off its nut, mate. So you're back.
Come on.
It's kind of back. He's back.
There?
He's back. There we go. Some really cool spells in here which I quite like. So let's just quickly go through them. So Binding Damnation, you can give a unit strike last. Amazing. 12-inch range, so not huge, but again, you do have the ability to get tankier spellcasters up closer to units that could then pop this off. Casting value of 7, which usually you'd be like, no, I would like it to be lower, but with 3d6 cast, I think this is just so easily doable. Really like the strike last. We've then got Spiked Tongue Curse, just does 3 mortal wounds. Cool, kind of nice. Yeah.
Actually, really good.
Yeah, just flat
Range of 12.
flat 3 mortal wounds, range of 12, visible to the caster, just suffers 3 mortal wounds.
Ah, the caster suffers it
But,
if it's
but if it's
unsuccessful or unbound.
unsuccessful.
Ah, we see the punish.
Yes, indeed, because you were like, that's really cool. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, so that's fine. We've got Chaotic Conduit. So this, you cast in value of 7 again. You successfully cast, pick one friendly either god's unit within range, and you can immediately roll on the god's table for that unit.
These games where you've got a Rend 5 Demon Prince.
So yeah, like that. We've got Ruinous Vigor. This is if you've got a monster that fights on top bracket. Cool. And then Demonic Speed. So this is the really nice one. 3d6 charge instead of 2d6, and can attempt to charge within 18 inches as well. So all 12-inch range, and all either 7s or 6s to cast. And the two that stand out for me is Strike Last and 3d6 Charge.
Yep.
I think those are the ones we're going to be seeing, right?
That Spike Tongue Curse is cool. But yeah, I think that those two that you've mentioned are going to be the ones. Flat 3 Mortals, I like that.
Yeah. But I could definitely...
especially with the 3d6 cast.
Oh yeah, and I could definitely see folk taking a couple of Sork Lords, and just taking one for Binding Damnation, one for Demonic Speed. Good to go.
Yep.
So yeah, nice spell lore. We then move on to the another really good flavourful thing about the army. We've got banners. It's so cool. So we've got ensorcelled banners. So this is a unique enhancement. You can always take one ensorcelled banner for a Slaves to Darkness army. Each time you take an ensorcelled banner enhancement, you can pick one ensorcelled banner from the table below and give it to one standard bearer in any Chaos Chosen, Chaos Warriors or Chaos Knights unit in the army. And if a rule allows you to take an extra enhancement, you can take a banner instead. Okay, so you're getting one off the bat, and if you go Warlord Battalion or Command Entourage, you could take an additional enhancement as well. Yeah. The one for me that really stands out for this is the Eroding Icon, which is Nurgle unit only, and you worsen the Rend character. I love that word, worsen, and you only see it a few times in Age of Sigmar. Worsen the Rend characteristic of melee weapons used by enemy models by 1 while they are wholly within 12 of this unit. So huge bubble, and I can totally see this getting stuck on a block of 20 warriors with Marker Nurgle or chosen. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. I don't know. For me, I'm just wanting to take into like damage chosen and grindy warriors. Like that's my thought process of just getting the boast it. But you can 100% get this onto chosen, and you just make them stick around because they still are 3-up saves on 3 wounds each. And -1 to wound and melee with -1 rend.
Slap already.
And that's the thing. Yeah,
a lot of damage.
That's true. You could just take into that and just get the best of both worlds. I'm just you know what I'm like. I just lean straight into the
thing. I think the Zinch one's good as well.
You like the Zinch one?
Standard.
Yeah.
Against shooting. I think that you'll see that.
That is nice, actually.
More and more shooting's coming into the game.
That's true. So. It does unfortunately mean you have to give the Mark of Zinch to a unit, which is a shame.
You can teleport.
Yeah, you can teleport. Yeah, I know, movement wins games and all that, but it's just I hate the Mark of Zinch. But yeah, that is really cool actually.
Teleport to a 3d6 charge and then 4 up against shit. Love it.
Yeah, love it. Banner Rage is not bad. +1 to wind rolls. Kind of nice.
You get +1 to wind rolls from your Bloodstoker for 80 points as well. So
stop it! It's not the Blades of Corn show.
Honestly, the thing that creased me the most when this book came out was multiple people tweeted it saying got my first Slaves to Darkness models in the post, and it was them unpacking a Bloodstoker Bloodstoker.
Love it. That's
You're gonna see it.
So good. I will also point out as well that you could just get this for a Triumph as well. So you don't need to be spending an artifact on it as well, or an 80-point hero. But no, I like that Slanesh one, Banner of Screaming Flesh, just cool name, but you get +1 to attacks characteristic. So
same as Corn Mark.
Yeah, same as a Corn Mark, but you've got a run and charge unit. It's all right.
A 3d6 charge as well if you've got the touch on later.
Baby. Yes.
Chaos Warshrine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Warshrine. I don't know if we're going to touch on it too much, but yeah, that's possible. What's that?
That
That was-
Sigmar,
that's
we
sick.
3d6 charge Siggy.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, tasty.
But yeah, so I think for me, a Rodin Icon is my standout. That's the one I'm going to be taking every time, I think, for any list ever. Cool. Moving on, shall we? Let's talk about the Damned Legions. So we have 6 to choose from. So let's get into it. Got Host the Everchosen. When a Host the Everchosen unit that is a Chaos Chosen, Chaos Knights, Chaos Warriors, or Vanguard unit receives Rally, you can return 1 slain model to that unit for each 5 up instead of each.
That's a funny translation.
Instead of each 6. In addition, you can pick 1 additional ensorcel banner enhancement for your army, so you can take 2 banners now instead. Love it. So yeah, this was originally 4-up Rally. They instantly FAQ'd it, even though the book's not legal yet.
It's just they said it was a translation error or something like that.
Was it?
But,
Yeah.
Like
was it?
From English, and it's a number.
It's funny how numbers are universal, mate. They work in every language. But yeah, so I think they knew that they done cocked this up, and they're like, oh my god, this is way too strong. So let's take it to 5 ups. So at least
5 ups still nuts.
Oh, it's nuts. I mean, imagine getting this on Vanguard or Knights, like, I even just chosen as well. But yeah, so rallies. Awesome. I really like this. I think this is probably the one I'm going to be taking into in terms of a sub faction.
Narrative gamer then.
Absolutely, always narrative. I'm going to have names for all my unit champions and banners and everything. It's going to be so cool. They then go into, this is one of your old favourites, isn't it? Legion of the First Prince. Are we going to have to pour one out for this one, Nathan?
Pour one out for old Belly Boy.
Belly Boy. Not ideal. So at the start of your hero phase, you can pick 1 Legion of the First Prince undivided unit. Pick one of the following marks.
Read it.
I was going to say, this is really, really wordy for saying you'll never take this ever. You'll never take this ever.
This is to fill that gap on that page. God. That's all that is.
So basically, we're just saying that they just changed the mark. You just change a mark in your hero phase, which don't get me wrong. Like, I think this could be kind of like shenanigans, eh? You could be like, oh, actually, the Slanesh, and now they could go run in charge. But like, in terms of power level, I just don't see it.
Yeah,
do not see it.
Good. And you can get lesser demons in the army, and they're as if they had the Slaves of Darkness keyword, which, you don't really get much bonus out of it.
Yeah, agreed. Then we've got Kabbalists. This is quite interesting, actually. I quite like this. So every hero becomes a wizard. If a hero's already a wizard, it can cast an additional spell and no 1 additional spell from the Lord of the Damned spell lore. In addition, if you carry out the draw and power heroic action with a Kabbalist hero, you can immediately carry out the same heroic action with each other Kabbalist hero within 3 inches of the first. So you can just get a lovely little nest of casters, all 3d6 casting, and they're all double casters or triple casters, and
they're all themselves.
They're all just like
it's a powerful effect.
Yeah, really, really powerful.
If magic becomes a thing, then there you go. You've just got a whole bunch of heroes that can cast on 3d6.
Correct, yeah. And we're kind of seeing this as well. Like when I look at this, I kind of think to the Rotbringers for Nurgle. And how that is seeing quite a big resurgence in terms of people are, they may be coming away from flies and they're like, it's fine, I'll just take 3 little Rotbringer sorcerers. One's going to get like +4 to cast potentially, like that, or like I think it's +3, but then if they're next to Arcane or whatever,
Arcane.
They get
+4
spell. No, two
spells.
spells. Yeah, exactly. So on +4 to cast, which is pretty nuts. So yeah, I quite like this, and I think that you could get some pretty tasty lists out of this as well, without having to take Sork Lords, because your heroes become wizards. So you just take really good heroes that get really good spells that are going to be popping off 3d6 casts all over the shop. So I really like this one. Then going to Despoilers. So we've got Favourite of the Curse. You add 2 to the wounds characteristic of all Despoiler monsters. In addition, each Despoiler Demon Prince can be given a command trait in addition to your general, which can be used as if they were a general. Each command trait must be different. So, I think it's no bad. I think getting extra wounds is nice. The downside to this I see is that this is the one they're trying to make you take lots of Demon Princes, and I don't see that being a viable option.
Yeah. They're okay.
I think one Demon Prince, fine. Or maybe even no Demon Prince, fine. I've seen kind of like swingy. I've seen people that are just like meh, never taking a Demon Prince, and I've seen people that's like I'm taking one in every list. So it's interesting like what people are thinking. But yeah, I don't think this is one of your powerhouses.
It's a cool new unit, and I think that people often think that all they need to do is take the most efficient unit in their army, but there is something to be said for having that unit that can finest hour.
Yeah.
And like if it's a monster, can roar. Like having access to those things in the game are really powerful. So you need to like at least give it a consideration. Like what's gonna be your roar in the game.
Yeah.
It can also have it's a good carrier for that, turning off rally and inspiring presence. Adding 2 wounds to it makes it even better in doing that.
That's true.
So it's I think that you will see it, and I don't think it's anywhere near the bottom 3. I would say it's probably maybe the 3rd best one. The next one, in my opinion, is the Juice.
Ooh,
that's the one we're going to see.
I think you might be right. And
unfortunately,
it kind of saddens me, but I think that you're right.
Yeah.
So we've just came away from what were the 3D like what the 2d6 charging ones. You turn one to a 6.
The Marauders.
The Marauders. So it's like we saw that already. We saw Marauders and what they can do, and the people were like maybe like spamming Marauders, and now I think we could just get to spamming other cultists now as well. So Ravagers.
These look nicer.
Yeah, they do. Ravagers, you can carry out the following heroic action with the Ravagers hero instead of any other heroic actions. You rally the tribes. You basically set up a replacement unit with half the models in the unit, so of a destroyed unit already. You set up wholly within 12 of the hero carrying out the heroic action, and more than 9 from all enemy units. And each destroyed unit can only be replaced once. So you're just replacing cultist units. And this is every hero phase. Yeah.
It's a heroic action.
Yeah, every hero phase you can carry this action. If you've got a Demon Prince with the command trait where you can carry out a heroic action with your Ravager's hero to get this, and then you can still carry out another heroic action as well at the same time. So yeah.
It's really powerful doing this in your opponent's turn.
Yes, agreed. And there are some very powerful cultist scrolls, which we'll touch on.
Into context, that's like it's your opponent's turn. They kill your cultist unit. You then get double turned. You bring that cultist unit back. Like it really mitigates the power of like a double turn.
Correct. Yeah, and then also you can just outgrind your opponent as well. And yeah, as you say, you've got kind of move block shenanigans, you've got taking back objective shenanigans, you've got lots of shenanigans there with regards to that. So I kind of agree with you in that I think that we are going to see quite a lot of Ravagers lists. And then
a lot of people can get the models.
Yeah, exactly. And then last but not least, we have Knights of the Empty Throne. So again, they've kind of come down off their high horse, shall we say, their high vanguard. So what we have now, I think it's still a decent rule. All the Knights of the Empty Throne units have got, with mounts, have got run and charge. So that's your Knights.
Your corn marked vanguard. Thomas, stop if you're listening. Like,
yeah. Love it. So anything with the mounts, that's your lords on mounts, so Carcadrak and Manticore. That's your knights, that's your vanguard, and then in addition as well, you can pick a dread lieutenant. So when you pick a general for your army, if Archer is not included in the army, you pick a model in a friendly Varagon unit to be your general. If you do so, that unit gains the leader battlefield role. In addition, if that general issues the rally command and a friendly Vanguard unit receives it, you can return one slave model to that unit for each 5 up instead of 6. So hold on a minute, these guys get the host the Everchosen shtick, even though they're not in host Everchosen, and it's Vanguard. So it's making you want to take into Vanguard, right, to get the kind of the full potential out of this. And you could have the full army run in charge with Markakorn or Nurgle. Yeah, so this could be nice. I think not for me, probably not one of the top ones anymore now, because they don't have the They don't have the tankiness that they used to have.
They don't have the survivability.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. But yeah, still a really cool army, and you love to see Vanguard on the table, right?
They don't have any way to include a banner, because it would be quite nice if they were able to include that.
That's true, yeah.
Thing.
That's true.
But being able to rally in a 5+ does give them some tankiness back. I think they're 10 more points than they used to be. And I think the strength of the last version of this army, the one that we were talking about at the start of the show, is that you've only got the 1 unit now instead of the 2. And I know that one unit was a lot stronger than the other one, but it was still another unit that could finest hour and hold people up.
That's true. Yeah, and the war scrolls changed, so it's no longer got the making things count as nothing on objectives. Am I right in saying that?
Well, that was a command ability.
Oh, was that command ability? Right, okay, so that's gone.
Command ability.
We don't have things like the grasping plate and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it's big changes to that list, as we've already said. But yeah, cool. So that's all the sub factions. Some decent viability and quite a few of them. We've then got grand strats and battle tactics. We always do pick one each. So let's go for... Nope, I don't like any of them.
What's the wording of dominating presence all about?
Yeah.
Only within each large quarter of the battlefield, as opposed to what are the small quarters?
I have no idea what the small quarters are, or medium-sized quarters perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, so dominating presence. Is this just setting up for the GHB changing pretty much? Because this is already... battle
sounds
tactic.
like it's... Yeah.
And it's also changed it to make it... It's also changed the wording to make it fit with the fact that you can't just put a unit in the middle. Was that?
So before I've not looked at the battle tactics. I'm going to pick Bring Ruin to the Realms. Okay, we'll see how lucky
we'll see how good it is. Yeah, for me, I'm picking dominating presence.
No points for the week.
Picking something other than the other 3.
Yeah.
So let's look at the battle tactics. So, Enthralled to Chaos. Pick an objective marker on the battlefield within 12 inches of enemy units. You complete this battle tactic if there are no enemy units within 12. So kill things off an objective. Cool. That's doable.
Easy.
That's doable. Right. Lust for Power. Pick a friendly Slave to Darkness hero that has either God's keyword. Complete this if you roll on the Eye of the Gods table for that hero during this turn. Easy. Right. There's a spell to do it. And you can do it if you kill stuff or get an objective. That's fine. Right.
Yep.
March of Ruin. Pick a friendly Slave to Darkness unit that includes a standard bearer within Sorcerer Banner. Is not within enemy territory. You complete this battle tactic if that unit is wholly within enemy territory and within 3 inches of any other friendly units. Fine. Cool.
Chaos Knights.
Doable. Yep. Cool. Iconoclast. Pick one enemy unit that is a priest or totem. You can put this battle tactic if that unit is destroyed. Quite niche. But don't worry, because Champions of Chaos could come in clutch here. You could complete this battle tactic if at the end of the turn there are 3 or more friendly heroes within 3 inches of enemy heroes. Yeah.
Could be any heroes. Just the same one.
Okay, and then run them down. Put this battle tactic. If at the end of the turn 3 or more friendly Slave to Darkness units made a charge move. Easy.
Right, I think that I picked the right grand strat.
You picked the right one, mate.
Just
100%.
Yeah. Really easy ones there.
Correct. Yeah. I think battle tactics fine. They'll be good addition to the general handbook ones. Obviously, again, we don't know what's going to change the GHB and the new one, but I think fine. And then that does open up then Bring Ruin to the Realms. I think because you only need to do 4. You did at least 4. From that, they'll have to be from that one. So I think easy peasy. Cool. Battalions. There is a unified actually. 2 unified in fact. So there's the Knights of the Empty Throne one for all your Vanguard units, and that could be 1 drop. Cool. And then we also have Chaos Warband, which is 1 leader. We can have lots of units in there, plus a Behemoth, and you can make it all 1 drop. So
that's actually really good because I thought that was Chaos Warriors, but it's any unit that is not a leader.
Not leader being for Vanguard. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Again, it's only 1 leader. So I do wonder if Battle Reg is going to win out in the end for this one, because you've got the option of 3, and then you still you've got 5 other units plus a Behemoth you can take, and depending on the build, like you probably don't want anything else. Chaos Warband could be cool for there's kind of chat I'm seeing about Archaon and just all cultists and Ravagers is something I've been hearing about. So I think that could be viable.
Here's a notion that I'm gonna ship just now, right, on that Chaos Warband. Battle Reg is in the core rules, right?
Yeah. It's not season.
We're just about or just over halfway through AOS 3. I doubt we're going to get a Slaves book before AOS 4.
Okay.
Been consistently sort of like 3 years, hasn't it? So it stands to reason that we're probably going to see a change to the battle regimen at some point, if not before. Most likely there'll be some change in AOS 4 because they rewrite the whole game. So it's cool that I don't think any other battle tome has a unified. Well, Stormcast has a unified.
Stormcast got unified.
It's a lot more restrictive than this one.
Gargant's got unified, but in terms of that's true. You don't see
any unit.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of unified. So again, future proofing pretty decent here. Good. Cool, awesome. Battalions, that's us, and then we're just on to the War Scrolls now, mate. So we're doing well. I'm just going to catch up with chats. We've got Liam T. He's saying the biggest issue with the new book is the models and app update are now next year at the earliest. You're absolutely right. So this is the kind of main issue, because we were talking about, like, are we going to do a Slaves battle report with the new book? Are we going to do this, that, and that? And it's like, well, it just seems so disjointed, like the way that this has been released and put out. So you bring out a box, all these cool models, okay, and it has a good hook for GW because it's like, come and buy them, right? Okay, you've got the book, then it's like, but it's not actually going to be playable at tournament level for months.
So do you think that they would have released that Slaves to Darkness box when they did, if it all wasn't leaked embarrassingly earlier in the year?
So this is
because
interesting.
It's obvious we've had delays, and the world we live in, we're going to see more of them. But the fact that this was leaked by somebody who had access to the actual book, like the physical books, taking photographs of it, like what we're looking at just now, could even be those photographs.
It's not, because I made this myself. No.
Okay, good.
Here's what I made earlier.
I think that could have, because like a couple of days after that big week, that's when they put the roadmap out, and they were like, Slaves to Darkness box is going to be coming in December. I think that they're still trying to catch up. So I think that if it wasn't for the leak, we wouldn't have known all of the details. This might have come out at the same time. I think we saw something similar with Broken Realms at the start of the pandemic, with the Techless book and the new Lumineth Battletome. So
I genuinely don't know. I don't know if I want to give much credence to the leaks. If they basically were like, oh god, it's been leaked online, quick, you need to rush this out, because I also don't know if they actually care, because we've seen these limited.
That leak was different.
True, but we have seen these limited edition boxes like put out.
The Battletome?
Yeah, so we've got the Guard Codex for 40k.
Oh, right, okay, but that's new though, right? That's like post this.
Yes, but it's still not like match play legal.
Yeah.
In terms of.
But I don't think it had ever happened until now. It's got to be due to delays that we're putting stuff out that is conceivable that people are going to get their hands on it one way or another before they're able to control the release.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. I'm tinfoil hat slightly, like maybe just like a little bit of tinfoil. But I think that's probably why we're seeing this disjointed release. Yeah. Just getting harder and harder to deliver anything.
True.
Which is probably why they, as a company, refuse to make promises. Like it's all coming in spring. When spring.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, just be as vague as possible.
As vague as possible.
You cannot. It's good political tact. Yeah. So yeah. Let's move on. So we've got some War Scrolls now. As I've already said, start of the show, we cannot touch on every single War Scroll. It'll take forever. It's a huge tome. Like this is it right here. Like it's a thick boy. Okay. So in terms of the War Scrolls, we again have had a chat. Kind of over the past week, and we're like, right, we know the ones that we want to touch on, like kind of in more detail. So we're going to kick things off, and good thing, the first War Scroll is one that I definitely want to talk about.
Yep.
The big man himself, Archaon.
So good.
I've
never wanted this model more. been when I saw this scroll.
I know,
I've
right?
wanted one for a long time. I've never wanted one more.
It's 100%. He's just one of these. It's a centerpiece model. He's so cool. He's like iconic, right? And we've seen him a lot. He's had many different iterations.
Has Ed Sheeran's eye.
He does have Ed Sheeran's eye. He loves a bit of Ed Sheeran's eye. And yeah, so the fact that he's came out. There has been changes, but I do think that he is just awesome. Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I can't wait to buy one because you can't buy them. You can't buy them. It's all out of stock.
I'm gonna need to at some point.
Yeah.
I think I need a bit of Archie in my life.
Need a bit of Archie.
Not the Archie that frequents our tournaments. He's lovely, but Archie.
yes, he is lovely. But yeah, so let's go for it. So 25 wounds. Oh my. That's a lot of wins. Okay.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't even know that. So you were just assuming that he was.
Everything else. My eyes just go straight to the. I just assumed the stats. I know that you shouldn't do that in this age, but yeah, I just went straight to the rules.
Exactly. So yeah. Interesting. In the spoilers, does he get 27 wins then? Or can he not? Or can he not get that? Right? He is monster, slaves to darkness. Oh, he's host the Ever-Chosen. He's keyworded to host, so he cannot be the spoiler. So that's fine. But yeah, that would have been fun. It's got a 14-inch move, 3-up save, 10 bravery. Right, let's move on, shall we, to the good stuff. Right. So, do we want to talk about his like damage output or his all abilities first?
But let's start from the top and work our way down. Then
Let's
so
do it.
Slate of Kings. Looks like it's the same.
Yes.
Friend 2, damage 3.
Only 4 attacks on this? Has it always been 4? Has it always been 4? I thought it was 6, but
well, they can still check because of the disjointed release.
While you check that, I'm going to catch up here. Liam T saying I have an Archie on my painting table now. Just saying winky face. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If you would like to sell that to me, Liam T, I would be more than happy. And then John Bayless is saying he's so nice to paint too. Yeah, because he loves his Archie, and I've seen him run it out. So it's always been 4 attacks.
Always been 4, but you've
perfect.
had ways to double pile them in.
Yeah,
you've had ways to give them extra attacks in various different ways, I'm sure, as well. So.
Yes. So yeah, we do not have access to double attack for that.
John Bayless said we're talking about the big one, not the one on the horse that you probably got back in like the 50s. Like we're talking about.
No, but he's probably still got it. He's probably still uses that as Archeon. He just built them up on like massive bit of cork. Like just like that at the top, so he's his right height.
Cork and skulls.
Cork for the cork throne. So yeah, let's go for this. He's got Slayer of Kings. So same thing. So double 6s on the wounds, just into the sword, right?
Still heroes and monsters. It used to be pick a model or any model, didn't it?
Yeah. It is hero is slain. Yep. So it's just hero. Just
heroes. So it's not even monsters.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Then we've got Monstrous Claws. We've got 2 attacks, 2s, 3s, -2, and the damage starts at 5. Nice. Lashing Tails, 2d6, 4s, 3s, no rend, 1 damage. That was never the good one. And then we've got the Chimeric Heads. So we've got 6 attacks, base, then obviously brackets, 3s, 3s, -1, 2 damage. Okay, so decent damage output. Okay. He is also a wizard. So he's a 2-caster. Which is nice. 2-caster, 2 unbinds. He's War Master, so he counts as a general, not the chosen general, but he can still get your CP if your chosen general's dead. And then obviously you can get the CP in a 2-up if you do the heroic action as well, because your chosen general's dead, which is nice. He's got Fly, obviously his mount is Dorgar, and then we'll move on to the good stuff. So we've got Armour of Morkar, so he's got a ward of 5 up. So it used to be a mortal wound ward, am I right in saying?
Yep, you used to just get the ward against mortals only.
Yeah, and now it's.
I don't think it was spells. I think you got a separate spell ignore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just mortals.
Yep, but now.
I just read the next wee bit. Cannot be negated.
Yeah, that's really cool, isn't it? That's really cool, isn't it? So there's no. So if you've got any. So
how do you kill this guy?
When that cannot be negated. Yeah. Oh my word. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Pick one enemy unit, so see if you're getting shot. Well, I love
Yeah, it's within
this.
3. It's within 3 though. Yeah.
If he's in combat with somebody and he's getting shot from
It's getting
somewhere
shot. It's
else.
getting rat-a-tat. Oh, of course. Yeah, you just go bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like it. Okay. And obviously, flat ward of 5. It's just so cool. And what? That's adding on a third more wounds onto him. So we'll add in another 8 wounds on top of him on average.
I didn't even realise he was 25 wounds. That's so good.
So good, so good. We've then got By My Will, so command ability. Start the combat phase. Another friendly chaos unit must be received at the end of that phase. They can fight on death.
Yep, that was good.
This is so cool. It has to be another, so it can't put it onto himself because it says another friendly unit. But still, very, very nice. We've got Crown of Domination, so this is so good. 12-inch range of no rally and inspiring presence.
Yeah.
A tremendous. We've got Ever Chosen, so he's got a spell ignore of a 4-up.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. He's got the Eye of Ed Sheeran, so once per battle start of your hero phase, if he's on the board, he's going to consult. I like that. He's going to consult the Eye of Sheeran. If you do so, roll a dice. The dice roll replaces the priority roll of the next battle round. On a 1 to 3, your opponent must take it. On a 4 to 6, you must take it. This ability cannot be used where there's an enemy Archaon on the battlefield. So in the mirror match, that's interesting. In the mirror, you cannot be doing this because the universe is like imploding because there's 2 Archaons.
Just see that they wrote the scroll. Somebody asked the question. They had to rewrite it.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's no way that they thought.
What happens if there's 2? He's like, oh damn it. So yeah. So a really cool ability. This used to be one that was just a command ability, wasn't it? They just you could do this every turn, but it's once now. It's once per game.
Different ways, I think.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
You used to have the battalion with the Gaunt Summoner, and then they made it so that it was just a command ability.
And then
it's just this war scope.
Yeah, and then the Eye of Sheeran in his last iteration used to be -1 to hit, right, for like a battle round, but now, so now it's this, so that's cool.
And it used to be 6 has always failed before then. It's changed so many times.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's true. 6 you could, which is cool. You've got favoured warlord units on the battle. So if it's part of a Saved Artist army, after the players have received their starting command points, but before the start of the first turn, you can pick one of the following marks of chaos keywords, and that. Oh my god. Oh right, okay. The unit has that mark in addition to undivided. So you're just going to put Nurgle on him, aren't you?
Yep.
To make a -1 to wound and melee.
It's the fact that you can do it. You don't need to do this on your list, so if you're going up against like a KO army, you could just oh no, in fact you need the standard for that, don't you? So that
were you thinking the 4-up ward against shooting again?
Yeah.
So the 5-up ward's not enough, he needs the 4-up, but no, you cannot get 4-up ward against shooting. He's not got a banner unless you know.
If he can give another unit the keyword, but you would need to have built the banner in.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, you can do that, which is cool. Slayer of Kings we've already touched on, and then he's got the 3-headed Titan. So you carry out a monstrous rampage of this unit, you can carry out a monstrous rampage from the list below instead of from the table in the core rules. So you've got the Nurgle Head, Filth Spewer, pick an enemy unit within 6, roll a number of dice equal to a number of models in that unit. For each 3+, the unit suffers 1 mortal wound to maximum of 7. Maximum of 7. Okay. Whew, that was
still awesome.
Still pretty good. So, but yeah.
The fact it's cool. Monstrous Rampage now. That is really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Like that. I've got Skull Gorger, which is the corn head. Pick an enemy model within 3 inches of this unit and roll a dice. If the roll is greater than the model's wound characteristic, it's slain. And you can heal a number of wounds allocated to this unit equal to that enemy model's wound characteristic. Being able to pluck a single model out of a unit is really powerful. We've seen this in Gargants, okay? They can, if you've got that model that's given a kind of a buff to the entire unit, and you just go, nope, you're not getting that anymore.
Not within 12 or 18 for an inspiring presence.
Exactly. Take out the unit champ. Exactly. Yeah. And you also get a nice little heal on top of that as well. So, love it. So again, very kind of techy. And then Spell Eater, pick an endless spell within 12, roll a dice on a 2-up, the endless spell is dispelled. If the casters in the battlefield, they suffer D3 mortal wounds. So good. So good.
I've got a big cheesy grin because this guy he does everything for me. Like, yes, I know we're a competitive podcast. He is competitive, but it's more just they've finally nailed what a god War Scroll should be. Like, his damage potential is not oppressive.
No,
but
I wouldn't say so.
He's half your points cost, and he cannot be removed without some severe commitment from the opponent. Like, he's going to feel like a god on the table.
Yes.
And it's a novel and a half of a War Scroll, but it's so good stuff. It's really, really cool.
That's cool. And on that
just imagine going through your army at the start of the game, and you're like, so he does this, he does this. It's like, no, just stop. What does he not do? And we'll just go from there.
Exactly. But yeah, as you say, and on that pie plate, like he is going to just feel like a god.
I think he's the only model on the pie plate that has a 14-inch move, which is huge because you need the move to actually get in places, especially in this world where we're playing with impassable.
Correct, to actually clear stuff. So yeah, I love Archeon. I can't wait until it becomes available to purchase again, and I'm 100% getting him done. Right, let's talk about brand new scroll, new and improved Demon Prince. Let's have a chat. Let's see. Oh, just catching up with chat. John's saying Ed Sherman was once roll a dice and could make a opponent roll that value on hit rolls. Yeah, and then as he's saying, Liam T saying my poor Skaven getting deleted by Archeon in the charge phase. But yeah, so Demon Prince. So we've got an 8-inch move model, 10 wounds, 10 bravery, 3 up save. It is the worst wounds to have in the game. 10 is one more than 9, and you like covered, lookout sort, all that kind of stuff. Not ideal. But yeah, this guy's got a few neat abilities. Let's go through them. So we've got melee weapons, so you get to pick one of the following options. You get a demonic axe, a hellforged sword, or malefic talons, and in addition it's either got wings or a trophy rack. So that's kind of cool. You get to kind of customize them.
Do you not get the axe or the sword and the talons?
Let's see, or the sword. Nope. It's or.
So you want or.
Yeah. So you're going axe is 5 attacks, 3s, 3s, -2 to damage. Sword is 5 attacks, 3s, 4s, -1 d3 damage, and talon is 8 attacks, 3s, 3s, no rend, 2 damage. So you're going with the axe every time, right?
So sword used to be mortals on 6s. If they modified hit roll for attack.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
6 d3. So I used to play with the sword because I was putting them into things. Yeah, the SF, he doesn't have that now unless you take into it, but you're putting them into things and you're hoping to crack it with the morals.
Yes, no, absolutely.
But yeah, no, the axe is like good.
Axe looks cool. Again, it's like he's not going to be I don't think he's there to be a damage dealer, really.
It's the heroic actions thing.
Yeah.
So this is why I've been seeing Nurgle Demon Princes in lists and why I would consider one as well.
Yeah, let's have a chat about that then.
The Nurgle one in particular, turning off wards for a unit while they're within 3 of it. So if you're talking about, you're giving them the ability to turn off Rally and Inspiring Presence within 6. If you can get them locked into something in combat, it no longer gets a ward save either. That's really powerful.
That is amazing. So good. And it's not a roll. There's no roll to that. It's just turns off wards. There's so many wards in this game, right? There is just so many.
Added more.
Yeah. So the ability to just go, I know that when this unit's going in, it's taking that off, right? Because they don't have that ward protection, is huge. Okay, so yeah, I think just to have
actions, command trait.
Correct, exactamundo. So you're never going to really miss out. You're not like, I mean, not as if I don't think there's any world in which you would not just pay your one heroic action to do the no wards, but the fact you can do that and then an additional one as well is.
And it's a choice. If your opponent has no wards, then cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it.
Not 100%. 100%. So yeah, Nurgle stand out yet again for that one. Anything else jumping out? So what have we got? We've got Slanesh, pass. Zinch. He's got a 2-up spell ignore. Pass. Corn, slain by wounds allocated. Heal.
They're not the punchiest things.
Get him a healing. No, not really. And then the undivided as strike first applies to that unit only. So no, I think you're 100% right. I think you take him as that 195 point tech piece of you can remove wards from a unit, smash them off the board.
Yeah. So if you think about the old one that had Blood-Slit Ground, used to be 210 points, just for context. Like, being 195 and having these abilities, it's insane.
100%. It is important to note as well, so because you could choose between either wings or you could choose between the what was it, the skulls, what was it, the trophy rack. So you've got, if you go wings, it's got a move of 12 instead of 8. Cool. So you've got even more range to get this guy into that unit that you want to take wards off of. If you go trophy rack, you don't take battle shock tests for friendly units wholly within 9 of that unit. In addition, each time an enemy hero or monster is destroyed by this unit in the same turn, increase the range of this ability by 3, which you might not see much. It does have a ward of 6 to make it a wee bit more survivable. And yeah, so I think I'd still go wings.
I was thinking that.
I do really like the trophy rack though, but I think I still go wings.
Like, that's where I was at, and then I remembered Horrorghast, and that we want to be playing with units of Chosen and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's going to depend, but we're talking about the difference of forward move and ignoring.
Exactly.
Still, it could be big.
Yeah. The other thing you've got as well is that your stuff that does slap, your Chosen's only moving 5, so like you're wanting this guy to probably keep up or stay behind as well. So yeah, like I think. But then I do also think of the combo in my head, I'm like, right, so if this guy moves 12, you then get the 3d6 charge in the slow unit and get them both in. Like there's like that as well. So yeah, I think bit of playing about, but that's good to know about. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Often forget about Horrorghast as well. But yeah, I know that was a kind of a joke, but I also think that nobody would give a hoot if you put wings on this guy and said he had no wings. Like,
I would. I'm all about that narrative. Cinematic experience.
So yeah, Demon Prince, I see people taking 1 in a list. 1 or none, I think, really. I don't think so too. I don't see multiples. Let's touch on Varangard, shall we? So 10-inch move in these boys, 5 up wounds, 3 up save, nothing's changed there. Bravery 9. We've then got Ensorcelled Weapons, Fell Spear, Demon Forged Blade. So they have to choose. So they either go Ensorcelled Weapon, Fell Spear, or Demon Forged Blade. The models in the unit can be armed with different weapon options, which is cool. Models, they're elite, so they can issue commands themselves. They've got Demon Bound, so if the modified hit roll for an attack made with a Demon Forged Blade is a 6, it inflicts a mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. Demon Bound, the Demon Forged Blades are 3 attacks each. So a unit of 3 of these, you're getting 9, so 1.5 mortals.
Yeah, I used to play with the Demon Forged Blades on mines. Across the board, their damage has gone up. I think Fell Spears are probably where it's at now. Not only are they the coolest looking, but you've got a reliable way to get them to Ren 3, wounding on +1 to wound anyway. And you can tech them with Corn for the extra attacks.
Yeah, I like that.
Which I think is really good. Like,
that's a good shout.
It's going to tear through stuff.
Definitely. Run and charge on them as well in the Knights of the Empty Throne. So you're getting, and then 3d6 charge potential as well. So you're getting reliable charge of these guys. Ren 3, damage 3 is nice. They have a 4-up ward against mortals. Which interestingly was the thing that could kill them in the last book. Was mortals.
You used to get 5-up ward against spells.
So so that's gone now, but they have the 4-up ward against mortals. So I quite like that. And then what we're saying, once we're Relentless Killers, this is it. So Relentless Killers, once we're battling the combat phase, after it's fought for the first time, when it's your turn to pick a fight unit, it can just go again. So it's not fought lasted, so you know how like the Iron Guts in the Ogre's book, they can strike again, but their fight last, these guys can just go again if it's your turn to pick again. So again, really, really nice, mitigates a lot of damage that can come back into them.
Just notice the Fell Spears are Ren 2 all the time.
So they've got to Ren 3 on the charge. It's awesome.
I saw the that's good.
If you get the Eye of the Gods of them, they can go up to Ren 4. Didn't worry about it. So yeah, really like these guys. Awesome models as well. Really nice. Do we need to touch on Battlecry? I don't think we do we? He's not changed.
He's the exact same, except he's 5 points less.
Oh, all right.
I put him in the league list for the G League today, and I was like, oh wait a minute, he's 5 points less.
Love it. Love it. No, very good. Let's go Eternus. This is another brand new model. Really nice looking model.
Awesome model.
awesome model, but I think it's one of these ones again where he is hampered by the fact that he's unique. Am I right in saying that?
Legion of the First Prince keyworded.
Oh, he's not. He's not unique. He must be, though, right?
Wait for the FAQ.
He must be classed as that. Yes, Eternus, yeah. But he is. Then he is. Why is he Legion of the First Prince? Why?
It's because of the narrative. He is basically a Stormcast that's been reforged by Battlecry. I know that you don't care about the lore, but
no, absolutely not.
Stopped souls going back to Azir.
All about the numbers and stats, baby. Who don't care about stories? But no, yeah. So, really cool model. I don't see him making the cut here, to be honest. So moving on. God Summoner, nope. Chaos Lord. Well, we don't. Well, I say nope. Obviously, you can still use them, but he's the exact same as the Tzeentch one. So I don't think we need to spend any time on that. If you want to hear about him, go and watch the Tzeentch review. That's also on here as well. So Chaos Lord and Demonic Mount. I could potentially see this guy for just being your hero. One of your heroes that you take. He does have the Knights of Chaos thing, so you give strike first to that unit if they made a charge. In addition, they also give another Chaos Knight unit. We're not going to talk about chariots. Not going to talk about chariots because they're awful. But yeah, can give them strike first as well. So he goes, and then the unit of Knights goes as well. It's the same ability that the Chaos Lord of Karkadrak has got. I think the Karkadrak's a better scroll than this guy. But yeah, I could see people potentially taking him, definitely. 5 up ward against mortal wounds because of the rune shield, cool. He gets extra damage and rend on his lance. So what's that? Rend 2 damage 2, meh. He's not going to be a major damage dealer. He's just going to be a support hero to combo that trick with the knights, I think. And that's pretty much it. We've then got Chaos Lord on Manticore. Horrible model. A horrific model. Would have been absolutely fine if they wrote this out of the book, in my opinion. But yeah, don't like, not a fan. Anything to say on this guy?
No, I don't think that he really had much showing in the previous iteration.
4 up save.
Sorcerer that we saw.
4 up save.
Surely has a way to increase it to 3+. Yeah, shield if this unit's armed with a Chaos Rune.
Oh right, okay. So it goes to 3. Got you. Yeah,
and has a 5 up ward against
so you would do that every time, right? If you were ever taking this guy, which I just don't think I would.
Yeah, he doesn't really have any cool. If this unit issues the redeploy command to a Slaves to Darkness unit, you can re-roll the dice. Ugh, shut up. That's rubbish.
Shut up. What, you can re-roll a 1 into another 1?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Exactly. Hold on, just catch up with chat. Liam T is popping off, so what's he saying here? He likes the rack with 20 Chaos Warriors with halberds. Fair enough, yeah. Rack's cool, yeah. He's saying he's a good model for Hammerville Oppressor or Conqueror's Crown as well. So I think we're talking about the Chaos Lord there on Demonic Mount, which I'd agree with. Says Eternus is unique, it's on the points profiles, yep. And then we've got you take Lord on Mount when your list can't fit the Karkadrak. Yep, I agree. Karkadrak's better. Yeah, memes for Splintered Fang. I think it's the dream until it gets nerfed into the ground, which I think it might need to. So Sork Lord on Manticore, again, don't see people taking this. I think if you go Sork Lord, you go guy on foot. I don't see spending the points on this.
So the spell used to be you roll a number of dice equal to the casting roll.
Yeah.
And it would do mortals. And you had a way to make it do D3s. I think it was 1 on a 5+ and D3 on a 6.
Yes.
There's now models in the units. It's more of a horde clearer.
It really is a horde clearer.
It's more universal.
Yeah, and it's 5s do 1 and 6s do 2. That's kind of cute. So again, if we're going to see units of 20s, 30s, then yeah, this guy could be good. It's on an 8.
Which we might see if Bounty Hunters disappears as well.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, we're going to get the 3d6 cast on this boy as well. Just to check, so he does have a different spell to the guy on foot, is that correct?
Yeah, he always did. The one on foot used to be the +1 to hit and wound.
Yeah. Cool, perfect. So yeah, he's still got that demonic power as well, so we'll come back to that guy. Awesome. We've then got the Chaos Lord on Karkadrak, as we've already said, really like this guy. He's in the perfect wound profile, 9 wounds, perfect. 3-up save, 9-inch move, great. He's a bit more damagey. He's got the same ability to make him strike first into the unit, and Knights immediately go as well. And he does impact hits as well. So yeah. Pretty cool. I really like that guy. Awesome model as well. And Kate, you did come in the now dead start collecting Slaves to Darkness kit as well.
Thank God, there was the only way to get Chaos Knights and Warriors that were new sculpts, so finally we're going to see them roll out. We're
going to see individual boxes now. Chaos Lord on foot, just singular. I don't see it. Unless maybe you're going...
It used to be the double pile-in, so
yes,
that's gone.
That's gone. So he's got Glory in Battle after this unit's fought in the combat phase for the first time. If its retinue's not yet fought, it can fight immediately. So he has to so basically it's like just like a what do you call it? Narrative thing. Yeah, you pick a retinue in order to go around with this guy, and they can do like bodyguard stuff onto him. Potential maybe with Kabbalists, you could get this guy because he makes some wizards, and then you've got a tankier wizard to cast your better spells on 3d6 casts. Give one an arcane tome. You've got a 2-caster, but yeah. So that's I don't see him out with. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, we're clutching at straws here. Chaos Sorcerer Lord. I think awesome. It gets you your caster. 4-up save, 5 wounds. It's a 1-caster, 1 unbind.
Worth pointing out, Oracular Visions is a 6-up ward now.
Yeah, it's not +1 save now. That has changed, which I think is for the better. Definitely. And then Demonic Power, really nice spell, range of 18. You pick 1 mortal Slave to Darkness unit, wholly within range, invisible. Add 1 to hit and wind rolls for attacks made with melee weapons. So that's just awesome. That's great.
Used to be rerolls, now +1.
That's great. Yeah, because we're removing rerolls across the board, aren't we? In 3rd edition. So really cool. You can definitely see 1 or 2 of these being taken in every list. We're just going to skip past these. I don't see...
The Myrmidon used to be a great conversion for Demon Prince. Now we've got a better Demon Prince, so...
Still is. I like this guy. I like the guy, the model, not the real.
Lovely.
Not the real model's grand though. I liked your conversion. Now Therodons, I want to talk about them because they are also a new sculpt. I do like them. I think they're cool. I think them with the great axes could be pretty tasty. 3 attacks apiece, 3s, -2, 3 damage. They add 1 to wound rolls if any wounds or mortal wounds were allocated to the unit, because they've got Berserk Rage, so you do any little damage to them, they're going to be wounded on 2s, which is awesome. They can also add 1 to the attacks characteristic of the melee weapons once per battle. You give them the Mark of Khorne. They're then rocking 5 attacks each. I think a block of 6 with these could be nuts in terms of the damage output that they could
and inspire that in the Bravery 6. But yeah, you could. There's nothing in the game you can't kill.
Exactly.
Because you could give them +3 attacks, +1 from their scroll, +1 from Secretor, +1 for charging this Khorne mark.
Yeah, so a 6 block could get 36 attacks, 2s, -2, 3 damage.
Yeah, cool.
Easily. So yeah, I think
3 Blade Geists would be good.
No, I like to kill more than that. It's weight of dice, it's weight of attacks you want. It's weight of attacks is what you want. That's 36 attacks is nice. So no, really like the Therodons, cool models as well. And it's nice to see that the new stuff they're bringing out has actually got play. I hate it when they bring out new really cool models and they're absolutely rubbish. So yeah. We then got the War Shrine. I think this has fallen from grace from the last book. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Good. Go on, hit me with the jank. Hit me.
Well, the only thing I've seen people talking about is the ability to give a Slaanesh unit the 3d6 charge and charge with an 18 instead of 12. And I think that you are going to see it, whether or not we see it in slaves lists or if we see it allied into other armies like Slaanesh and stuff. I don't know, but it seems pretty cool. I don't think it's a lot of points either. So
you're saying you would take it to give a unit 3d6 charge on a 3-up.
I'm thinking about allies again. You know what I'm like.
I know what you're like, but I also know that you can do this with a spell. But you can't then do that onto the allied unit that they're bringing in, because they're not Slave to Darkness keyworded.
No, I'm talking about other books, so
Yeah.
I've completely went off tangent.
You've got it.
But
Which is fine. You're allowed to do that. It's not a problem. I know that your brain's always thinking, oh, outside jank, out the box jank, and I think you're right. But it's 14 wounds and a 4-up save. Points wise, it's quite hefty. I think.
Is it not like 200 and something, 210.
Yeah, it's definitely over 200. You did used to see this just because the prayers that you could get for things like Nurgle were really good. Even the Undivided one was decent. I just don't see much.
Yeah, it's only add one to charge for Corn, which is one of the other big ones, and Nurgle is
add one to wind rolls.
Add one to wind rolls, which you can get
so
in
easy.
another way as well.
Yeah, get that multiple ways. Yeah, so I think you used to see this guy a lot. I don't know if we're going to see him as much.
Wind rolls for Zinch.
Yeah, but the unit has to have Zinch keyword. The unit has to have the Zinch mark.
Already said that you're going to see Zinch mark. I'm telling you, you're going to see it.
Okay.
Blasted standard.
Okay, Nathan, that's fine. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Shooting's big, obviously, and having 4 wars against shooting is good. Yes, I'll grant you
Don't
that.
listen to this KO denier. He's like, nah, don't take it. Don't take
it. So yeah, that's the
didn't
war
like the chariots. I heard that there was
did
some
not
juice
like the
chariots.
Did not like the chariots. Let's look at them then, shall we? I think the juice was in the Gore Beast, which was so it's unstoppable momentum. End of your combat phase of this unit made a charge move. It can make a normal move and can do so even if it's within 3. If it does so, it can pass across other models with a wound characteristic of 4 or less. In addition, after each such move, you can pick one enemy unit to pass across and roll a dice for each model in this unit. For each 3-up, that enemy unit suffers D6 mortal wounds. So you could go like a unit of 3 of these guys. Oh no, wait. You would have to you can only reinforce once, right? Unless they're battle line.
Why would you want to not just take them MSU though, so they can each do it?
So just trigger. Yes, because you just trigger. So it's the same thing. But yeah, you're right. You could just go multiple triggers. Yeah.
You move 9. You charge in. You fight. Then at the end of the combat phase, you then move 9 again.
If that unit's still alive on 8 wins with a 4-up save.
Yeah. I think that's kind of cool.
Meh. It's locked to the models have to have 4 or less wounds as well.
Yeah.
I think there's two. Ha ha. I just think there's too many gates. There's too many gates to get through here. There's the charge. You have to roll the 3 up. The units has to be the right units, and you have to still be alive.
I'm not even thinking about the damage. I'm just thinking about the potential to just relocate at the end of the combat phase.
Got you.
Which seems pretty cool.
It is cool, and we know movement phase shenanigans or movement in other phases is good. We were talking about it on the ogre, in the ogre show as well. The fact that Stone Rider can the Frost Lord can go roar and go around. Yeah, so you're not even really doing it for the mortal wound. It's just to reposition this guy and get to places you couldn't get to before, which I'll see. But I'm just not impressed that much by that. Cool. Keep going. Pass. Chosen! Oh, right, okay, so here we go. So 5-inch move, 3 wounds, 3-up save. 3 attacks each with the soul splitters. 2-inch reach, hello there. 3s, -1, 2 damage. Cool, decent. You can obviously give them a standard. You can give them a mark. Once per battle in the combat phase, this is Heralds of Ruination. If this unit is fought for the first time, you can say they will unleash Ruin if you do, so that it can fight for a second time, but the strike last unit does apply for that second time. Now, I'm kind of okay with this because I think they're tanky enough to receive a hit back before they then hit again. And especially if you're going for a unit of 10 of these, that's 30 wounds and a 3-up save. If you do go Nurgle with the kind of the standard that reduces rend, they can obviously take a hit back better. But I think the juice here is the Iron Guts trick that we already were talking about. It's you charge in, you delete a unit, and if there's that magic within 5 of the unit that's behind them, you then they can't pile into you, but then you then trigger again, you pile in and you fight them within 2 and can delete a second unit. So it's got really nice tech there. You get +1 to charge rolls. So we should have said all musicians are the same. You get +1 to charge rolls across the board, and you get +1 bravery for every banner bearer that's in there as well. Cool. The fact that you're also getting mortal wounds on 6s to hit with these guys. In addition. Oh my goodness, we're seeing this a lot now, aren't we? We're just seeing these hammer units that are getting mortals in addition. So you've got 3 attacks base, you give them Mark of Corn, give them an extra, get another attack, give them another attack. I mean, you could get 6 attacks each on these guys. So that could be 60 attacks.
What bonus attacks can you put in if you mark them Nurgle? I don't know if I would like to pay the points for a unit of 10 Chaos Chosen and not have them marked Nurgle.
Really?
I know that they can. I know that the damage potential is insane, but I just don't think that if there's a way to give them just +1 attack, I don't see what you would want to hit with 40 attacks that you're not going to kill.
Okay.
As Nurgle.
Okay, that's fine. So there's no way. I don't think there's any way to get.
All Corn?
I don't think there's any way to get additional attacks as Nurgle. I'm racking my brain here, thinking back on what was spoken all about.
They get to roll an Eye of the Gods.
True.
If this unit's part of a Slaves to Darkness army after deployment, you can roll a dice and Eye of the Gods table. So one of them was +1 attack, right?
I think it was. maybe the 5
or +1
or the 6
as well was one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, true. To get that nice magic 6 there, +2 to that roll. We're getting the extra rend.
Yeah,
But yeah, really like these guys.
Making them Corn's really good, but then if you think about the unit cost, it's expensive already. You're then paying 125 points for your Blood Secretor. You're probably then going to want to pay another 8 points for your Blood Stoker to get them. Like, you're just juicing them up more and more. They're more and more expensive. Whereas if they're Nurgle, it's just
honestly, I think what I would be happy without the blood. I would be happy without bringing in extra corn stuff. I think just an extra attack is still
on the charge. Yeah,
it's just I would pay it for that. Sitting them behind my big block of Nurgle warriors that are just not going to die, and then just blast on in. Like, yeah, really like these guys, and such nice new models as well. Just so cool, so cool. Okay, mate. It won't be me. Chaos Warriors. Let's talk about these guys. So major gloat for these guys. Awesome, lovely. You love to see it because these are just iconic for Slaves to Darkness and just Chaos in general. Like, I think back to Fantasy when they brought out the new Chaos Warrior sculpts. It was just like yes, and then these ones look even better. So 5-inch move, 2 wins apiece, 3-up save. And they've got their 5-up wards against mortals because of their rune shields. They get +1 to the attacks characteristic of this unit's melee weapons while it's wholly within enemy territory or wholly within 12 inches of an objective that you do not control. That's kind of cute. They've then got murderous weapon, or they've got ensorcelled halberds. So the halberds are 2 attacks each, 4s 3s -1 damage with a 2-inch reach. Murderous weapons are 3s 3s -1 damage. So I am struggling to see why halberds in this edition, in this season, if we're going to lose, if we're losing the galley vets fight within 2 ranks, then we go halberds.
Half an inch, right?
Yeah, which is so easy to get.
I don't think anybody is competitively building this list or building any Slaves to Darkness army to take to a tournament, because I don't think any of them really are using the book in tournaments yet.
No, they're not. No.
And it's like I don't see any instance where the Galley Vets thing stays, right? Like, it's part of the battle pack.
Yeah, it's going to go,
each
right.
time we've had a new battle pack, it's gone. So
agreed.
I wouldn't be building them with murderous weapons hoping that is going to stay in
the
game.
The thing is as well, like, is this a quandary? Because I mean, I've not tried to build these guys, but in the start collecting box that you get these guys, are they push fit, easy to build, and you just get what you get, or you can't choose? So that could be an issue.
Yeah.
But again, you could always just say, look, they're all halberds. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, no, like these guys, I want them for a unit to sit on an objective as my screen in Nurgle with the -1 rend banner, and they just outgrind my opponent with 5-up rallies potentially as well. So yeah, like these guys. Chaos Knights, also quite like these guys as well. So 10-inch move, 3 wounds, 3 up save, and I think you just go Lance all day with these guys. Yeah?
Yep, 100%.
Is that right? On the charge, they're getting extra round of damage like all of their lances. Yes. Yep, with a 2-inch reach as well on them. So if you do go the bigger unit sizes, you've got more potential to get like all of the guys in. You know, if you go a unit of 10 of these, you could get all of their attacks in, which is good. You've also got access to the ensorcelled banners, which is nice. They've got Riders of Doom. So we've got when a model in this unit makes an attack with its cursed lance, instead of using the range characters, oh that's cool, they then get Gallivets. They get half an inch of half an inch. Love it, love that. So you just fight in 2 ranks. So future proofing to the changes that we're going to see in the new GHB. Yes.
Also probably kind of nod to what we're going to see, right? Because that's one of the biggest complaints was, well, we didn't need this for troops. Yeah. We needed it for cavalry units.
Yes,
so,
100%. So there you go.
Like
perfect. Yeah. Liam T has made a good point as well. He said that the choices of weapons are only for the champion. Everything's lance, regardless. So love it. Don't need to think. That's great. Not that you had to think much anyway. The lance is clearly the better option. Now, interestingly, I'm going to touch on the musician here because it's not just +1 to charge. It's you can change one of the dice in your charge roll to a 4.
So the Marauder one used to be changed it to a 6.
To a 6, pretty cool. This basically means that you will always charge 5, at least. And
not 6 though, so it's not good enough for me.
Not good enough!
My inability to roll 6 on charges.
Exactly. Oh god, yeah. And then it could also make those bigger charges pretty good as well. Yeah. Also with your 3d6 charge, that could be pretty sweet. And then for the Impaling charge, you're adding +1 to damage and range for the lances, cool. And then the rune shields, 5 up against mortal wounds. I am still disappointed they hit on 4s with the lances. Come on, these are seasoned riders and they're hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
Same as a warrior with a bloody halberd. Nah, not a fan of that.
Yeah.
But as we say, obviously, you're an all-out attack away from 3s, or a spell from getting 3s and 2s on these guys as well. So
we can skip Marauders as well, right?
Yeah, let's please do. We're going to skip both flavors because oh my god, the models, and then also they're trash now. So absolutely.
I saw something with loads of people asking for Vortex Beasts. It looks okay, but like I don't think it. Like I'm not gonna want to spam them.
It's such a shame.
That was just a meme.
Yeah, it's such a shame that this and obviously the Slaughter Brute, such cool models. I think we received them. We received. I hate the Soul Grinder. It's horrendous. But anyway, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I really like these. We received these at the tail end of 8th edition of Fantasy 8.5, the End Times. I really like them as models, but it's just such a shame that they've been joked here for so long.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Might even see them. We might see them because there was loads of people that are in the know online that were looking to buy multiple of them. So maybe there's something there.
There must be something there. There must be, yeah. Soul Grinders. Let's talk about Soul Grinders because initially looking at them, I was like, meh. I then watched AOS Coach talking to Toby Meadows, but Toby's already had a mention today, and we're going to mention him again. And he was four Soul Grinders, I think was the build, and he was in the spoilers, so they're going up to 20 wounds in the spoilers. So 20 wounds on a 4-up save with the pie plate, move 12. They've got 6 shots with that cannon, yeah. Or they can do the flame bombardment as well, yeah.
Separate weapons, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, cool. Which is not bad. 1 attack, 4s, 3s, minus 2, 3 damage. Not bad. And I think what he was talking about, I think, which was really, really cool, like really interesting thoughts, was that so the damage output could be decent because if you because you can give them marks, yes, give them marks. So you could either give them Nurgle or Khorne. I think he had 2 with Nurgle, 2 with Khorne. So you can get obviously extra attacks, and that's in all the profiles. As well, or you get the -1 to wound and melee with the Nurgle as well. And the fact that they're on the pie plate, these are on the same basis as Archaon. Put this on an objective, you cannot contest that objective unless you're in combat with this thing.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, oh, of course, yeah. So obviously, so
Test the
big,
objective at all,
yeah,
depending on how you
yeah,
position it. You
exactly.
just can't move on to it.
Yeah, just can't move on to it. So you could just be like, cool, I'll take first objective denial, and it's like, right, cool, that's it. Like that's it. So I really like that trick. Very, very good heads up play from really good player Toby. Obviously part of the England team as well, yeah. So. And he seems to be putting quite a lot of stock in these guys. So I'd say watch out. I'm not looking to take into this because it would mean I have to buy 4 soul grinders. And as I've already said, I don't like the model at all.
It looks okay.
Yeah, but yeah, cool. Some cool tech there, and I think it could be decent. Poor Slaughter Brute, such a cool model, but unfortunately horrible.
So what cultists?
Yeah,
it's 1 page.
Yeah, I just want to talk about. I want to talk about Corvus Cabal, the snaky boys.
Wintered Fang.
Yep, maybe just touch on Legionnaires because they're here right now. The fact that you can, on a 4-up, just completely remove commands.
Let's
kind of swingy. So
phase,
confusion.
The 4+ cannot issue receive commands in that phase. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's one of the reasons I was liking the look of the Unmade.
Yeah, so we'll touch on them as well. So we've got Unmade, Splintered Fang, Corvus Cabal. Yeah? Just quickly rattle through those. Let's go for it. So, yeah, because I don't think any of the rest of them looks quite good. So, Splintered Fang. So, really cool models. I'm loving this snake thing jumping off the guy's arm, right? Also,
you just might buy a whole bunch of these models.
I've always been a Splintered Fang fan. Yeah, so these guys are insane, right? Okay, so every 6 to hit does a mortal. Now, attack sequence ends, but who cares?
Yep.
You're not taking these for that. 2s to wound on these guys as well. Why? Why are they 2s to wound? That's so funny.
2s to wound.
So funny.
3 attacks each.
3 attacks each, and obviously you can get these guys to more attacks each, can't we, Nathan? Because we can take the Idolater's command trait to give them marks. We could give them marks of corn for extra attacks. We could then sub in. We could sub in. Come on, Blades of Corn guys. You can come in too, join the party. Get them more attacks as well. So yeah, these could just blend stuff with mortals. Like scary good. And then if you're in Ravagers, you're bringing them back to just do some more blending.
And they're going to hang around for a bit as well, because 1 in every 10 is one of the snakes. So if you're taking a multiple unit size of them, like 30 or whatever, you're going to be able to return a snake as well.
Yeah, exactly. 5-up save, meh. Which is actually not bad for cultists. 5-up save is pretty decent. It's not bad. It's not a 6-up. And yeah, you can return 1 slain serpent's model to this unit in your hero phase for each serpent color in the unit. Yeah, these guys could be an issue.
Yeah, it's just an unnatural amount of mortals. Because you'd just be thinking, well, it's going to be fine because you've got your ward saves on quite a lot of stuff now, but nah, Nurgle Demon Prince, no wards.
No. Yeah, so these guys, yeah. So have a look out for them.
They will get nerfed though, please. Nobody do anything stupid.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, they must. Like, surely GW. Yeah, they'll have to, unless they give it the old.
Really like snakes, like DJ, then
love snakes, mate. I'm a herpetologist. So the other thing to kind of call out with that as well with GW. So they have sometimes not been that quick to nerf, and one of the reasons behind that has been we don't have enough data to see that these guys are bad. So I don't know.
In this instance, because they can measure how many times people are refreshing the page on the website to buy them while they're out of stock. So they can use that as data.
Or maybe the amount of green stuff that's been bought, like green stuff, and then rolled into little snake sausage shapes and just draped over cultists. Yeah. So yeah, that's very cool. Let's talk about Corvus Cabal. Let's talk about these guys. So very cool. They come with a inbuilt deep strike. Cool.
Yep.
They also cannot be targeted.
while in cover.
While they're in cover as well. Well, targeted with missile weapons, yeah. Go for it.
So many people that I talk to don't know what constitutes cover.
Yeah.
So when being targeted by missile weapons, if every model in the unit is within an inch of a piece of scenery, and that piece of scenery is closer to the unit that's trying to shoot you than the unit that's been targeted is, then you are in cover. So you do not need to have all of the you don't need to have the bases of models entirely on the scenery to be.
Whoa! So that blows my mind, because I was at the weekend on Saturday. I checked the rule for cover, and it has a little picture that says this guy doesn't get cover because his base isn't wholly on the terrain feature.
Every model in the unit must be within an inch, and it's only for shooting, and it's only if the piece of scenery is closer to the unit that's shooting them.
So is that just for shooting? Is it different verbiage for combat?
Looking for
yeah, mine's in a bag. Mine's in a bag
it's purely for
purely for shooting, right? That's fine. That's really good to know actually. Then so. I didn't realise it was different for shooting and combat, so that's really good to know. Yeah, here he goes. Into his bag of filth. I'd love it. I'd love it if you went to all this trouble and it was wrong.
And it's wrong. I hope it's not. So it'll be under the scenery bit. But yeah, the rest of it, like the deep striking for a unit of 9 models is really good as well.
Yep, 9 models, and they're pretty cheap as well, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just going to go and check the points while you're looking that up, your wrong rule. Corvus.
I'm actually starting to break it.
Corvus Cabal. Yeah, 80 points. Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
So nice. Splintered Fang, 10 for 100. Oh dear.
The terrain rules are in a weird place in this book, aren't they?
I would just go to the back, look at cover, and then find that. I think it's like page 67.
That's a very specific.
See if I'm correct. This is just like galaxy brain here. Come on, Nathan, you're slowing down my show. Come on.
Behind terrain, is it that?
What? Talking about? I wish I had my book next to me.
Yeah.
Right. Go for it.
So a target unit is considered to be behind a terrain feature if all the following criteria are met.
Okay.
The target unit is more than 3 inches from the attacking unit, so it's going to be shooting. All of the models in the target unit are within 1 inch of a terrain feature.
Okay.
It is impossible for the attacker to draw a straight line from the closest point of a model in the attacking unit to the closest point of the model in the target unit without the line passing across the terrain feature.
Okay.
And target unit is in cover if all the models in the unit are wholly on the terrain feature or behind a terrain feature. And there is another picture as well. So you get cover. You're considered to be in cover if you are, like, all the models are within an inch of the scenery. So in this instance, for Corvus Cabal, you wouldn't be able to be targeted by a shooting attack if all the models were behind a piece of terrain as defined in 17.0.2.
17.0.2, yeah.
Page 74.
Behind a terrain, but it does say cover, a target unit is in cover if all of the models in that unit are wholly on a terrain feature or behind, right? Okay, and then we then go to behind, so your class is being behind.
That's how I get cover.
That's interesting.
All the time.
Oh, you cheeky monkey!
It's a lot harder to get their bases on it wholly.
Of course,
you can touch them all within an inch quite easily.
All the models, and if it's 3 inches from attacking unit, right? Okay, so behind only comes into play for shooting, and then your wholly on hat comes in for melee. That's very cool. No, well done, mate. Good call out there.
Yeah.
So Corvus Cabal, that's awesome.
I think that's where the strength of them is, because you can get scenery onto objectives.
Yeah.
They just can't be within 3 of the objective point, and the fact that you can deep strike these, then they can't be targeted, then it's going to be really hard to shift them.
100%, yeah. And nobody wants to send a combat unit off to deal with these guys. Like, that's just a nightmare to deal with an 80-point unit that's 9 moons and a 6-up save that you know is just going to get guaranteed battle tactics or nick objectives off of you, but you're going to have to send something over to deal with it. And for 160 points, I'd chuck this into any list. 100%, definitely very cool. Cool. So that's Corvus Cabal. What was the other one we were going to talk about? Was it Unmade? Yeah, which is really cool. It's the next one here. Nice models. I love the Stilty Boys. The Stilty Boys with the scythe hands are cool. So yeah, we're taking these for the Frozen in Fear, right? So enemy units cannot receive, redeploy, or rally commands while they are within 12 inches of any friendly units with this ability. Oh, that's a large range on that.
I just want people to think about this. They're only 80 points. Your units move 5. So you're talking like an 11-inch move around or over scenery and stuff like that if you've got run and charge on a unit of Chosen, for example. How much easier is it going to be to get your Chosen into something if what you want to charge can't redeploy?
Correct. Yeah.
Like, it's just massive. Like, not only not being able to do the rally when everybody's got really strong rallies, but I just think for 80 points, no redeploy on a full combat army is something that people shouldn't look past.
Yeah.
Like,
and you can
I'm looking to ally these into Khorne for obvious reasons. But
oh, of course,
that's
so nice.
It's really good. Yeah.
So nice for, as you say, for full melee armies. They need to get in and do the business in one good redeploy.
Benches is huge. They move 6. 24-inch range can't redeploy. Because you can't redeploy off of them either. So.
Of course, yes. You just auto-run them. Well, like that big aura of 12. You can hit multiple units with that, obviously, as well in the enemy army.
Yeah.
Good lord. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. So yeah, Cultists really got some juice, eh? And you can, as you see, you can mix and match. So you can take a couple of Corvus Cabals and be one Unmade here just for tech, and you're not paying that many points to do that. You know, that's really cool.
Untamed Beast worth mentioning as well, because they stayed the same with the pre-game move, didn't they?
Let's go for it. Yeah. So where are we? Yeah, Untamed Beast.
Actually, I don't see it.
Can run in charge. Addition after enemies are set up. They can make a normal move, so they move 6. Okay, they just move 6 before the first battle round, which is cool.
They're 90 points instead of 70, but they still perform the same sort of job.
Same role,
Deny deep striking.
Yeah. I'd also like to touch upon the fact that Iron Golems as well, like they have probably are they just suffering from being really good auto includes from the last list, and now they've definitely gone down.
Well, they still have. Were they a 3-up save before?
I think they were 4-ups, but then they always just got the +1.
Just could never be better than a 3-up.
Yeah. Okay. Now the good thing is obviously, so you add 1 to save rolls for attacks that target this unit if this unit has not made a normal move in the same turn, so they can still run, and they can still charge, and they can do that. Those aren't normal moves. They can pile in. That's not a normal move. That's fine.
As long as they don't move, and I suppose you give them a running charge.
Lol. So yes, so you could do that, which is fine. Again, you could give them a mark if you go the correct command trait as well. I think the biggest thing I've seen about them, or the biggest downside, is their points, because for Iron Golem now they are
75.
8 for 100 now. Yeah.
A lot of stuff went up in points by about 10 or something, like we're calling it Vanguard, which is where we used to see Iron Golems. They went up 10 points as well, so 25 points adds up.
Absolutely. But no, that's cool. And then I think that's pretty much all. That's all the scrolls that I want to talk about. Again,
talk about
Raptorix. Nope.
I'm just trolling you.
No, absolutely not.
We saw a lot of the Mindstealer Sphinx, but I think it's the same.
I was going to say, no, it's not. It's worse now.
How is it?
It's worse now because it's a 2d6 roll against. It's 2d6 roll against bravery now.
They used to be monsters too.
Did they? Used to be monsters. You get a wee cheeky roll out of them.
Used to be able to monstrous.
Well, now I think they're terrible, because anything that is 2d6 against bravery is bottom of this garbage heap. Definitely, it's horrendous.
About the endless spells.
Let's have a look. See, because it used to be the
Demon Rift used to be the tits.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Demon Rift. It's let's see. After this endless spell is moved, roll a dice for each unit that has any models that pass across, and for each other unit within 1 inch of at the end of the move on a 2-up, it suffers D3. You add 1 to the number of mortal wounds caused by this endless spell for each other endless spell within 12 inches after it's moved. So.
Probably 100 points spell or something.
Let's see, have a look at Realm Scourge Rupture. Against D3 mortal wounds, and its move is half.
That used to be good too.
D3 mortals in half move and a 2-up's not bad. That's not bad at all.
It's predatory.
It is predatory, yep. It's set up wholly within 9, and then it moves 9. So you've got that 18.
60 points.
And then it's, what, yeah, so 60 points. And then the eightfold Doom sigil. Keep track of the number of models that are slain within 12 inch of this spell each turn. At the end of this turn, roll a dice for each model that was slain. For each 3 up, the player whose turn is taking place must... Oh my god, I can't be bothered reading this anymore, Nathan. Oh my gosh. And you add... But yeah, it says add 1 to the attacks characteristic of melee weapons.
The player whose turn it is gets to pick it each time, I think. And it's until your next hero phase. So I was watching Battle Report with Eric and Stu, and he was saying it's some sort of like double turn protection for the buff or something, but yeah, it looks a bit pants.
Don't get me wrong though, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of that unit's melee weapons.
Well, actually, we were talking about a way to get extra attack.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
You just need to pay 40 points for that.
Correct. And yeah, you just basically, so what they're saying is for every model that's slain, you roll dice. For every 3 up, you get to pick a unit wholly within 18 of that sigil, so you just ping it around to all your army. Okay, how many points is that?
40. Okay, it's a harder guess.
It's yeah. But yeah, you're right, it is a way to get additional attacks. Good, good. And then
it's worth pointing out allies as well.
Let's point out allies. So Slaves of Darkness has got Beasts of Chaos, Blades of Khorne, Disciples of Tzeentch, Maggot Kid of Nurgle, and Hedonites of Slaanesh. So we are able to take up to 400 points from each of these guys, yeah?
Yep. So I liked the Chaos War Shrine in Sigvald. I know people were talking about taking the Chaos Shrine in Slaanesh armies, but I like the idea of taking Sigvald in it.
Of bringing Sigvald into slaves, right? Okay.
3d6 charge. He gets his attacks characteristic as whatever his charge roll is.
Yep.
Unmodified.
Unmodified charge roll.
He ignores ward saves, and he's got a 4 up.
But does it not max out? Am I not right in saying it max out to 10? His attacks.
Maybe, but yeah.
Or is it a minimum?
I'm not sure.
Or is it a minimum? Maybe.
He has an attacks characteristic.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's min or max, but yeah, if you could rock a 3d6 charge and take that many attacks, that's pretty tasty. It's pretty naughty.
So he adds 3 to charge rolls on his war scroll. In addition, attacks characteristic is either 5 or equal to the unmodified charge roll, whichever is higher. So you could have 18 attacks.
Yeah, with him, which is nice.
2 and 3's rend to d3, and he ignores wards.
He ignores wards as well. Yep. So you've got another way to ignore wards in the army.
He's only 205 points because Slaanesh are quite weak at the moment. They've been getting points reductions across the board.
Yeah.
So I think that they definitely look alright.
No, I like that. That's cool. We've already touched on a lot about obviously Blades of Khorne, bringing in things to get additionals either to charge, run, and attacks. Beasts of Chaos is quite, you can't really tell because they're going to get a new book very soon.
Now. They're 10 points cheaper than Untamed Beasts and do the same thing.
Do the same thing, and yeah, can be nice little screens. Yep. And then Disciples of Tzeentch. I don't know. Would you bring Pinks in here? What would you bring in from there?
Maybe in a Legion of the First Prince or Tzeentch. Maybe a wizard. Some decent.
They've got access to some good. Yeah, they've got access to some good wizards that could do well from. Oh, but they won't have Slaves to Darkness keywords, so they can't do 3d6 casts.
Yeah, I think the Blue Scribes is the one that stands out. 160 points to just get any endless spell out if one of them becomes pretty big. Yeah,
and I genuinely can't think of any Maggot Kin I would want in.
No, me either.
Maybe some of the what are the Magath Lords? Maybe some of them.
Well, they fit 300 and something, 320 for all of them now, I think, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that they get their ward save on their allegiance now, so they're going to be a lot weaker as allies.
Yeah, of course, they don't have the words on their scrolls, do they? Yeah, that's true. I think just before we kind of finish up, probably worth noting to see all the potential battlefield roles that you can get. So you can get, let's look at battle line. So
there's not one other book that has this many battle lines.
Yeah, so you've got battle line chosen if they're in a host of the ever chosen army. You've got battle line furies. Who cares? What else have we got? We've got battle line Theridons if you take an Orogroid Myrmidon. I just don't think that's enough to warrant taking a Myrmidon. You've got Vanguard, a battle line, a host of the ever chosen, and if they're in a Knights of the Empty Throne, which is cool. And then you've got so many battle lines. So Chaos Chariots, Chaos Knights, Legionaries, Marauders, Marauder Horsemen, Warriors, all of the cultists are battle line as well.
But you can only take one unit as a hero.
Mm-hmm. Of Vanguards, yeah.
Like if they become the leader in Empty Throne, could you reinforce them up to 9? The unit 9 with 5-up rally is worth entertaining, especially with a 4-up ward against mortals.
The good thing is it's not just that unit, it's got the 5-up rally, you can give it to the other units as well.
Yeah.
Which is sweet.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. And then could also take advantage of the kind of 1-drop Vanguard battalion as well, if you go all Vanguard, right? Which is kind of nice. But yeah, so yeah, lots of battle line options here, guys, and just like lots of ways to just take your 3-min battle line and then fill it out with lots of toys. I could definitely see 3-min being any flavour of cultist units. I mean, we already spoke about maybe taking 2 Corvus Cabals and an Unmade. There's your battle line, and then just take hammers.
A very gorgeous looking army as well.
Oh yes.
New warriors, new chosen, new knights. Vanguard have always been pretty tasty, and all of the. I know that there's a lot to be said for taste with some of the Warcry warbands, but a lot they're all really really nice new sculpts in my opinion. So.
Oh, absolutely, and then obviously you got Big Daddy Archeon sitting right there in the middle as well.
He's my favourite. Like I'm just gonna need to get an Archeon. 2023 Archeon will need to make it to the table for me.
Yeah, the Archeon.
His War Scroll's really cool.
Nice. Well, I'll see you for the mirror match, and we can't use the ability. Cool.
We can't use the ability.
Yeah. But no, that's us, man. So I'm really liking this new book. I think it's going to open up lots of different ways to play the army. There are some very kind of standy out powerful combos that, as we've already kind of touched on, we think they're going to be getting nerfed right quick, or they should be getting nerfed right quick, just toned down a bit, okay? Otherwise, I think this could be a very well internally balanced book with lots of shenanigans, play, tech, very strong, and I think will do very well in this new upcoming season as well, as we already kind of said. So I'm just loving everything. I'm loving the fact that it feels like a Slaves to Darkness book. It feels like a Chaos book, right? Just with so much flavour, kind of harking back to old kind of fantasy, little nuggets, you know, with your banners, making Eye of the Gods, making your warriors good, your chosen good, your knights good. But it's making all these iconic units. Your Demon Prince is back now. He's good. Archeon's a god, and you've got all these different things that you can run as well. And it does just feel like it's this big, massive horde of lots of different units that you can just take and make some really fun, interesting armies with. So I'm loving it. I'm giving it very big props as a book. So I can't wait for it to be... One of the
best ones yet.
Yeah, can't wait for it to become legal and get it and see it in actual tournaments.
Yeah, you're going to see it everywhere. And yeah, don't be despondent if you are looking into it and you're worried about stuff getting nerfed. They cannot possibly nerf enough of this to make it not potent on the battlefield. The things that we're talking about getting nerfed are very obvious and very spammy. Yeah. And those are just guaranteed to be fixed by GW. Yeah. But yeah, the internal balance is really good in this book. Yeah. Get the stuff that you like as long as it's got a 3-up save, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I just like there's so little ways you could go wrong here. Yeah. You know, you could just take stuff that you like and it will do well regardless. So yeah, love it. So that's us, mate. Cool. I really enjoyed that. Thanks very much, man. That was good.
It was a longer one, but it was enjoyable.
It was long.
It's a really cool book.
Yeah, I think we knew it was going to be longer because, as I said, there's so much in this book. But no, I'm glad. And obviously, we didn't touch on everything. So apologies if your favourite unit, whatever, wasn't spoken about, or if I was pretty down on it. Again, it's just it's just looking through the lens of competitiveness. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of nice little combos and niche things you could do with the book as well. But yeah, but don't, as Nathan's saying, don't be despondent, certainly. But yeah, so. All that's left to do is to say thanks. So thank you to our sponsors, thank you to our patrons of the channel as well. Thank you very much. Thank you to you guys, the viewers. Thanks so much. We've had pretty decent viewers, and we've had some good chat interaction. Liam T has been loving it, so he has. Let me just check here. So he was talking about yes, he was talking about the I keep forgetting the blinking. Splintered Fang, thank you. Talking about you could get up to 5 attacks each with those mortals. That is why they need to. That's why they need to get nerfed. Okay. You've got you're saying GW definitely not nerfing them quick. They ninja the cultists back to 10 for £35 from doing 20 for £40. Oh, snaky. Yes. And then he's also saying, so it's cheaper to take a cult unit than the Myrmidon. Poor Myrmidon. And then, will my 2k Dark Oath Marauder list do well? No, but you'll look great on the table.
As well. Sorry, but those are the worst models. Some of those Dark Oath.
I like Dark Oath.
Really classic. Yeah,
Dark Oath's cool.
Really classic war chaos, aren't they?
Yeah, it does just look very classic. Yes, muscle bros.
And the barbarians.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what is best in life. So yeah, and that's us. And then just say thank you to you, mate. Thanks for helping me navigate this tome, for being on. And yeah, really excited. So let's talk about what's coming up next on the channel tomorrow evening. We've got your good self. You're paying a wee visit to Fife. Oh, be careful! It was -6 this morning, mate. I don't want you, racing over here and having an accident. So,
bringing the Everwinter.
He's right. That's true. We're so excited to do this. So, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. But essentially, it's a final round showdown game that we're doing. It was a recent event in Bristol that saw 2 players vying for the top spot. It was Ogre Maw Tribes versus Nighthaunt, and we're going to recreate that game for you guys and see kind of what's going to happen when we do it. So really looking forward to that. Yeah, exactly. We're going to role play it out, and we're also going to play some Warhammer as well. So that'll be great. Yep. And yeah, so looking forward to you coming over tomorrow. And then we're kind of almost wrapping up all the channel content just in time for Christmas. And then we've got lots of exciting new stuff to talk about for the new year. So very excited about that. So yeah, that's us, mate. Anything you'd like to say for the folks before we sign off?
No, it's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you so much, mate. So thank you guys. And yeah, hopefully you tune in next time. Tune in tomorrow for the battle report. And yeah, remember to answer the call. Thank you very much. So yeah, we'll see you later. Bye bye.